Welcome to the OK Show, Thursday, TBT.
Hey, what up? I'm Mr. Echo. Can you hear the echo?
Hang on. Are you in the toilet?
I might as well be. Well, I might as well be. The echo is crazy, but very intimate. It's a very intimate setup.
Are you sitting on a
All
toilet
right.
bowl?
Anyways, I like it. Yo, 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 yo. Si tae, tae, tae. Ganda lalaki. Laki, laki, laki. Ah.
Tumatae, tumatae,
I wish I
tumatae.
was. Yeah, we watch too many of those movies, man. We need help. Anyways, what up?
Are you in a spare room?
You hear me? I think you're muted.
Yeah, well, I can hear you.
What?
Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. You can't hear me?
All right, good, good, good. It's all that matters. It's all. I can hear you. You're good. You're good.
All
No
right.
echo on
Okay.
your part, though.
No echo on my part. Yes, because I can. Yeah, I can hear the echo loudly.
Yeah, hold on. Why is it so? Like, how come there's no echo on your part? I mean, it's not a very filled up room.
No, it's not. It's I don't know.
It
Because
has
probably
really
this
good. It
is.
has good acoustics,
It's
man.
not
Like,
concrete though.
you actually sound like you're
Probably.
in a booth. Hold on, let me check. Let me
Right.
check if this
Could
helps.
be.
Because I have this like play mat, my kid's play mat. I don't know if this will, but he said that if you put stuff like this, it will help absorb the echo sound. Maybe if I close the door, I don't know. Let me check. There. All right. So what's up, man? So what are we talking about? Anything? Yeah, I didn't get the memo.
You didn't get a
No, no,
memo.
no, I did not read the post.
We're talking about Matinee Idols. Matinee Idols back in
Oh,
the
all right. I like
80s,
it. I
90s,
like it. I like
and
it.
2000s. All right. So,
Yeah,
Matinee
that's
Idols,
right up our alley, man.
as we call
That's
them.
right up our
But
alley.
then I
You know
Googled
our
it.
strengths. You know
I,
our strengths.
but here, yeah, I know. But I Googled it. But I was expecting to see the faces of Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, because I Googled Matinee Idols, Hollywood and stuff.
It's all
And
Pinoy.
then all the no, it's not Pinoy. Yeah, well, some Pinoy faces came to picture, but then mostly old actors like James Bond, Sean Connery,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
other old actors from the 40s, 50s. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's only in the Philippines that we use that term, right? Matinee idols.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so too. I think it's the term. It's like matinee idols. It's kind of old school,
Should we
so
change it to teen
it applied
stars?
to those guys. No, 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 no. We should say teen stars either, because a lot of them found success. They were no longer in their teens. I mean, guys like Ralph Macchio, Tom Cruise. Yeah, they were making movies during their teens, but they weren't like box office draws yet back in the
Right.
day.
So they can be considered
You
matinee
know,
idols, right? In the 80s. Like,
yeah,
okay, let's
yeah, yeah.
talk
Matinee
let's
idols
talk Tom
or
Cruise, right? Charlie Sheen. Who else
is
in
it
the
safe to
80s?
say? Is it safe to say that like if you talk about matinee idols, we're talking about guys here, right?
Yeah, but
So
does that
male
apply to girls too? Like only males?
actors, heartthrobs or
Yeah,
something. Can we
because
refer to them as like heartthrobs?
all right, okay. Should we
I mean,
say
what's the
heart?
modern equivalent of like matinee idol? Because matinee idol is like a lot of the kids now they don't like they know what that means probably, but like they can't associate it with a celebrity like a modern day celebrity. Because even me, like if we talk about matinee idols, I'm thinking about like you know people from the past, like
Okay,
even
matinee
not even
idol,
like
a
American
handsome
actors.
actor
I'm thinking
admired for his good
Filipino
looks.
actors.
All right, okay.
Okay, all
So
right.
sort
So
of the
celebrity
boy
male
next door
crushes.
type.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like celebrity crushes. No, 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 no.
This is
Or
boring
we
though.
can
Only men.
um.
All right, fine. So what's the
So wait, well,
equivalent? What's
includes
the
women.
equivalent? Yeah. What's the equivalent to yeah?
Celebrity
Towards
crushes.
women.
That's it. Just celebrity crushes. So
Celebrity
we
crushes?
don't have to we don't have to limit it to like action stars or you know being act-
What's the counterpart for females? Hang on.
I might have to change my turn. Hold on, let me get my other internet.
What is another word for matinee idol? All right. Okay. Superstars, leading men, leading lady. All right. Personality, film actress, that celebutante, famous actor. All right. Superstar, actress, lead actor, personality. Okay, let's change it. Let's change it because it's crazy. All right, hang on. Let's change it. Dude, you're gone. What's wrong with your internet? Hang on. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right.
All right, you're good.
All right, let's change it to movie stars then. Famous? Should we say famous? Or celebrity crushes in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s? All right, celebrity
Yeah.
crushes. Let's do that. And where are they now, right? So let's do that. Where are they now? Let's try to find out
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah, just to add to the throwback feel, like
Right
because
here.
a lot of these big names back then, we have no idea where they are now. So we'll do our research, and then for some of you out there who are old enough to know these names, be familiar with these names, you can help us with the research as well. Or if you're going to mention the name or contribute to our list, then you might as well do your research and try to find out what they're up with now. Do they have to be like within a certain time period, like an era of cinema? Like, can they just be 80s, or can they still be like super active and still be popular? I mean, like Tom Cruise and guys like Brad Pitt, Keanu Reeves. They're still very much around. So we're not saying that it has
Yeah,
to
but
be
they're
somebody
not.
who's no longer famous, right?
Yeah, but I mean, Keanu Reeves is not as appealing to the younger crowd as he was before when he first, you know, when he first break out in. I think well, he was more popular in the '90s for his good looks when he came out
Yeah,
um,
yeah, but you
in
have
the
to
movie
think that
Speed.
those that liked him back then are still the same people that like him now. So you know what I'm saying? It's like we're not we're not saying he's going to try to appeal to the Justin Bieber crowd. I mean, he was big back then. He's still big now, man. I mean, my
Well,
wife
he's
still
still
has a
big
TikTok. I mean,
now,
my wife
but
still
it's
has.
because of his acting skills and not because of I mean, well, yeah, you can argue that he never really actually, looked old. He looked the same, but I mean, back then yeah, I mean, I mean, Speed. It wasn't like really, like
So basically, that applies
Oscar.
to like all of them, right? That applies to all of them. So I mean, most of them. I mean, like Tom Cruise. I mean, yeah, he
Dude,
still
Tom
looks
Cruise
good, but
look as no, yeah, but not as good as when he was in the 80s.
I know. So
I
so
mean,
okay. So hold on. What are we what are we trying to? We're doing a throwback. We're talking about celebrity crushes from back then. We're no longer crushes
right in the
now.
80s. So we're like well, all right,
I mean,
here's the
okay,
thing.
no. I'm not saying that they're discounted because they're still around. I'm just saying like they were big back then. So we're focusing more on how they made the mark back then than today, right? That's what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
I mean, yeah,
Okay. All right. Got it.
basically.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
I
Got it.
mean,
Got it.
like that's why they're popular now because of what they did back then, or
That's
the kind
right.
of
That's right.
impact that they actually
And
had
and
on the viewing public back in
And I'm
their
gonna have to throw in
prime.
like some names here that I'm not sure if like in the Philippines they were big. Maybe they're known, but they're probably not as popular. guys. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people know Scott Baio, but he was really big in the states even after Zapped, because he had a TV show. Guys like, there were like Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe was really big in the U.S. We know
Yeah.
him from
Well,
St.
he was
Elmo's
big in
Fire,
the. I
and
remember him being big in
was
the
he big here?
Philippines. Like
Was
my
he big
yeah,
here?
my aunt loves Rob Lowe.
Okay, there you go.
My
All
my
right.
aunt
So
and
I know,
my mom's
Andrew
cousins.
McCarthy was really big here. Andrew
Andrew McCarthy
McCarthy
was
was
really
really
big
because
as
of
well.
Mannequin, right? Because of
Right?
Mannequin.
Yeah. What was Rob Lowe's movie?
St. Elmo's
What was he in?
Fire.
Yeah, St.
He
Elmo's
was in
Fire
St.
together with
Elmo's
Kiefer
Fire. He was
Sutherland.
in The Outsiders. He was in he was in a lot of teenage films. I think he had one where I think he was in a movie titled Lucas with I mean, those guys, Corey Haim, right? And Corey Feldman. Um
Yes,
the guys from License to Drive, from Lost
the two
Boys,
Coreys from the
they were also
'80s.
really big in here. And
Yeah,
and
the two
a lot
Coreys
of
were in a
people
movie
like,
like The Lost Boys. They were together in that movie.
yeah, we're together. They were always together. A lot of the movies that were like usually always together. Um, all right, so we're gonna start the discussion now. We're gonna start bringing up some names
Yeah,
and try to find out where these guys are now.
right.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Let's fire away. Let's talk about. Okay, can we talk about women?
Yeah, I mean that's why I changed it to celebrity crushes, so we
Okay.
can talk about women as well.
For me, dude, Phoebe Cates, man, Phoebe Cates. Phoebe Cates. She got married to Kevin Klein, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Mhm.
she got married to Kevin Klein. I think they're still married. I'm pretty sure her starting a family had a lot to do with her disappearing from the spotlight, because we all I mean, I know she became super popular because of that scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and then she appeared in a couple of other movies. But I know she was also in, if I'm not mistaken, she was in Gremlins as well. I'm not sure if the first two or just the first one, but I know she was in one of the Gremlins movie. But she wasn't really big like Jessica Alba big, but she was always the crush. And she wasn't a bad actress. I mean, I just don't know why she didn't get too many leading roles, if any. Um, I had a crush on her because I mean, she's very appealing, especially to Filipinos. I mean, she looks like she's Phil Am of some sort. I even heard like rumors that she was like part Filipina or something. So I think that's probably why. But I know for a fact that she wasn't just appealing to like Asian men. She in the U.S. she was also like a lot of the young puberty stricken boys back then also had the hots for her. Especially after that famous scene in Fast Times at Richmond High. So Phoebe Cates, that would have to be one of the major crushes. If you want to go really old school, then Brooke Shields. But I was young. She was it was the my uncles were the ones who had the hots for her. I remember
Right, I
Brooke
remember them. I
Shields.
remember those names. I've got
Brooke
I've got the
Shields,
hots for
Phoebe
them.
Cates.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, dude,
No, no. I mean, we
what, you were
did, we
just
did,
playing games?
we did, we did. I mean, but with Brooke Shields, I wasn't like, yeah, I didn't have posters of her or anything. I wasn't in that state of mind yet. I mean,
Well,
everybody just had a
here's the
crush
thing:
on her, right?
we can't have those posters because we can't buy posters yet. Like, I didn't know how to buy posters back then. I see these posters because my cousins, my older cousins from my mother's side, they have these posters of Phoebe Cates,
And I wasn't. I don't
Brooke
know with you, man. I
Shields,
don't know
Molly
when you
Ringwald.
started getting serious with women. Like I had the hots for. I mean, I was watching bold films at a young age, but I wasn't thinking about putting up posters of women back in the day. I was still playing video games. So when it was Brooke Shields, I was a kid.
I
So
wasn't really
we
serious, but
all
you
liked
see
her.
these faces and you're like, oh, who's that girl? I mean, you don't really like, oh, I like her, I like her. Like, it's not really like that, but it's like when you see like a poster, it's, oh, that girl's attractive. Oh, she
Yeah, yeah.
looks,
I get
she
you.
looks
I
hot.
get you.
So
But
I see
it's
all
she's
these
not like
posters,
she's not my
and
generation crush though. Like I think we have our
and
generational crushes where we have ownership of particular um like wherever the hot chick was at that time. That was the peak of also your fandom stage where you were really like Jennifer Connelly probably is closer, like especially to your age because of Rocketeer, and it's more recent. But we talk about Brooke Shields, we only really knew her from
I
Blue
saw
Lagoon. Like
Rocketeer.
You know?
when I was young, but I didn't even know that it was Jennifer Connelly who was in that movie. I watched it again just a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, that's Jennifer Connelly. Like I remember watching it. I don't even remember the guy actor who played Rocketeer in there. But then I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Jennifer Connelly.
I know he looks like I
And
don't remember his name.
the only reason why I like Jennifer Connelly because at first there was a movie that I watched that I thought that she really looked like Demi Moore, right? And Demi Moore was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
big back in the 80s because of the movie Ghost.
Yeah, she was. She was. She was.
And everybody
She
had that
was.
haircut, that bob cut haircut. All the girls were
Yeah.
like all of a sudden had short hairs because of the movie Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. But she was actually Demi was actually more mature already when Ghost came out. She was I had the hots for her when she was in St. Elmo's Fire. I mean, she had like the long hair. She was the addict friend of Rob Lowe and these guys. It was like the Brat Pack film with Emilio Estevez. And I was a
Yes,
kid,
yes.
and the reason why I couldn't really relate to the movie, like, because it was like college life, and I was in high school, but my sister was going through college, and she was in a sorority and everything. So I was kind of it, you know, I was kind of picturing her in college at the time, and that's like kind of like how it was, and because they were working and they were, it was a good movie. I don't if you watch it now, it's still a good film. It's one of my favorites, and it left its mark. So Demi Moore, definitely, she became a household name because of Ghost, but she was already hot, man, even when she still had that long hair. Who else? Demi Moore. Um, You mentioned Jennifer Connelly.
Elizabeth
Who
Shue.
was your Elizabeth Shue? Yes. See, I thought it was the only one. I thought it was the only one. I always had the crush on Elizabeth Shue. When did you start to have? I had a crush on her from Karate Kid onwards. Cocktail. I had a crush on her on Cocktail.
Yeah, she was there. Yeah, yeah, she
Um,
was in that movie. I remember her quite a bit in the 90s because of the movie The Saint. I didn't realize that she was
yes,
already
she was
in
out there
like
too.
in movies back in the 80s. So when I was watching all these like um old stuff, then she was in Karate Kid. When I was
She was.
when I started watching
She was
Cobra Kai, I'm
chubby
like, oh,
there.
she was.
She was chubby there. She was chubby Karate Kid. I liked her
And
more, but she was still kind of chubby.
but I like the first girl from Back to the Future. She took over
Yes.
at
Yes.
like
Very hot.
she took over
Very hot.
Back to the Future 2, but I like the girl in the first Back to the Future. What was her name?
Yes.
Um,
I forgot
she
her
kind of
name, but
quit
she's gotten
because I
old
think
now. I
yeah,
saw
she's
her like
gotten
in a
old.
reunion
And the reason why she
special. She's
quit
gotten
Back to the
old.
Future was I think her father got sick. Hang on.
Oh, really? I thought it was
Yeah,
because she got
that's
too
why she
tall.
quit.
I thought because she was like
No, no,
she got too tall for Michael J. Fox.
no. She had to quit because somebody got sick in the family.
Oh man, oh man, but she was hot. She was really really pretty. I mean, that's the only movie I remember seeing her from too. Like I don't
Oh,
remember her in like another film.
Claudia Wells. Claudia Wells. That's her name.
Yeah, see, we don't. She's not a
She
household name, but she was hot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good. That's a
okay.
good.
Let's
That's
let's
a
go
good
to
call.
let's go to the guys. Okay, Don Johnson was big, right? Miami Vice.
Yes,
Like
and the fashion that he
everybody
brought
was
in,
like,
the
all right,
the Don
oh
Johnson
no,
look,
Don
the pink
Johnson.
T-shirt, and then the sports jacket, the leather jacket, whatever you want to
Right,
call that,
right.
the suit jacket. Shout out to Jepway, by the way. Good evening, Jepway. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about old school crushes. So if you have like
Right,
crushes from the
80s,
80s,
90s, even 2000s
90s,
to 2010. But we're like starting, we're kicking, we're kick starting with the 80s.
yeah, yeah. I also had okay, who was your puberty guy? Who was the not guy, but when you were a puberty guy, you were a puberty kid. Who was the girl that you were like wanking off to the most? Or at least your movies, it's like it turned you on. Like whenever you were not watching her for acting. You were just like, I mean, I had the hots for Sherilyn Fenn. For me, it was like Sherilyn Fenn when Human Junction came out, and then she came out
I
with a
think
couple
I'm a
other movies where
all
she took
right.
her clothes off. Sherilyn Fenn. She was
Could
just
be it
so
would
I don't
probably be
know.
Sharon Stone. It would be Sharon Stone because of Basic
Oh, okay.
Instinct and
Yeah, just
Sliver,
cross her legs.
Quick and the Dead. I mean, all of her films I
Yeah, she's
watched.
hot too. You see, you look at Sharon Stone, you think of sex, right?
She was like a sex symbol. She's a sex symbol, man.
Okay,
This was back in
what was the
what,
movie?
early '90s?
Was that Sliver? The movie where there was like this
Sliver.
guy with a kid and cam with the cameras?
Yeah,
Was
Sliver.
watching.
Sliver.
Okay, that was Sliver. All right. Was that one of the
What's his
Baldwin
name?
brothers? That was one of the Baldwin
William
brothers, right?
Baldwin. I think William Baldwin.
Okay, that's one of the Baldwin
There's
brothers. Yeah, I
there's like
remember that movie.
three of them,
Yeah,
right? There's Alec, there's William, there's Steven. Steven's like the one
yeah,
in Usual Suspects, right?
yeah. Alec was the one who actually shot the director
Right. Yeah. Just
recently,
recently.
Mr. 30 Rock.
Accidental firing.
Yeah. So for you, it was Sharon Stone's one. For me, I'd say yeah, definitely Sherilyn Fenn, Rebecca De Mornay. Rebecca De Mornay. I remember Rebecca De Mornay. I'm not sure which movie it was, but she had a movie where I don't know if it was The Hand That Rocks the Cradle or something, but she had one movie where she was very seductive and she was trying to seduce this dude, and they I don't know. I was watching like late night Cinemax. Okay, so Maribeth says Charlie Sheen. Yeah, Charlie Sheen
Yeah.
was bigger than Tom Cruise back then, huh?
Yes.
He was
Yes. Charlie Sheen. What was this movie? Men
Wall
at Work.
Street. He was in Wall
Wall
Street,
Street.
Men at
Yes, he
Work.
was in Wall Street. Men at Work. Wall Street. What
Oh,
else?
and then later Hot Shots.
Hot Shots. The Three
Um,
Musketeers.
wasn't he like in Young Gun? No, he wasn't in Young Guns. He was in one of those movies where they were like wasn't he in that movie where they were in a military
What
school and they
was?
kind of rebelled? Read something. I'm not sure if he was
Uh,
there. Wisdom, yes, yes, he was in Wisdom. But you know what? I'm not sure, but I can argue that Charlie Sheen was popular, but Emilio Estevez had more hit movies. If I'm not mistaken, Emilio Estevez was like everywhere back then. He was everywhere. Yeah, Man at Work. He was there. He was in St. Elmo's Fire. Emilio Estevez was in. Oh my God! Well, Mighty Ducks. Later on in his career, he was in Free Jack. He was in. Man, he was in Young Guns. Emilio Estevez was in
no.
Young Guns. He
Okay.
was also.
All right. All right.
I mean, they're
Well.
brothers,
Okay.
obviously.
Wisdom.
People know
Emilio Estevez was in Wisdom, not Charlie Sheen.
that. Okay, so not Charlie Sheen. All right,
All
but they're
right.
brothers, but
So
they kind of don't look alike.
yeah. 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 Demi Moore is in the movie Wisdom, right? All right. Okay.
Yeah,
What was that movie?
yeah,
Public Enemies? No, not that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What was that movie? They were in a school, then
yeah. They were
terrorists
school.
actually,
He was taken
yeah,
over. He was taken
taken
over.
over by terrorists, and they
Red
fought back.
something.
Um,
Red Dawn. Red Dawn. I think.
Red
Was it
Dawn,
Red Dawn?
Red Dawn,
Was it Red Dawn?
Red Red Dawn. Yeah, Red Dawn. That's the movie. I
No, no.
remember
Let's
that.
check.
And
Red Dawn.
the Philippines made a similar film based on Red Dawn.
1984. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one.
Red
That's the
Dawn
one. Red
84.
Dawn.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's check. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if he's there though. Was he
I
there?
think
Was Charlie Sheen
I
there? Patrick Swayze. No,
think
it was Patrick
Patrick
Swayze and C. Thomas
Patrick
Howell. He wasn't there.
Swayze, Charlie Sheen is in there.
Oh yeah,
Jennifer
yes, he was. Okay.
Grey,
Yeah.
Leah
I
Thompson,
think he gets. I think he got killed in that one. I think he got killed
Steve
in Red
Thomas
Dawn, if
Howell.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he
Filled
got
with
killed in that
action.
movie.
He got killed. Was he the
Yeah, he got
mafia? Was
killed
he
in
the
that
mafia
movie.
kid? Was he the mafia kid? No, because there
I'm
was
not
like a
sure,
mafia
but I
kid
know
in the Red Dawn,
he kind of
right?
went wild. Like he went nuts. Like he went suicidal or something, and he like kind of sacrificed
All right,
himself or
okay.
something. I know he died,
Or
and I think he got
was it
killed
Toy
in that movie.
Soldiers? Toy
Toy
Soldiers.
Soldiers
Hang on.
is almost similar, but I think that's more
Similar, right?
recent. Yeah, it's
Toy
similar.
Soldiers.
You can get it confused, but I think that's more recent. Toy Soldiers is more recent.
I think. Okay,
Um,
hang on. 19. Okay,
it's like a
1991. It's a different movie, Toy
okay.
Soldiers. Right.
Yeah, yeah. But
All right.
oh,
Okay.
it's Sean Astin. Sean Astin, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Sean Astin.
Yeah, Sean Astin. Samwise Gamgee, yeah, it's him. So that's why we got that confused because Sean Astin was also, an '80s actor kid. So okay, so fire away, Patrick Swayze. Of course, everybody loved Patrick Swayze, especially the older ladies. I'm not saying Maribetha, you're older, but the ladies would prefer older men because Patrick Swayze always was like the grown up in every group. If you watch The Outsiders, he was the grown up there. If you
Right.
watch, I think yeah, that movie we're talking about, Red Dawn, he was the big brother there. So because he was always like built like a grown up, and he always had that serious kind of vibe to him. So
Right.
Patrick Swayze was the one that appealed to the ladies who wanted a man who could take charge. But he did have a lot of crushes for sure. So we mentioned Charlie Sheen, Patrick Swayze, Emilio Estevez wasn't mentioned yet. But you know what? Emilio Estevez reminds me of Iceman. He reminds me of you. I
Why?
don't know if it's his. I don't know if it's his quirkiness or his energy. If I watch, like The Breakfast Club. I mean, yeah, we did a show, The Breakfast Club. But I mean, like, and I saw him in St. Elmo's Fire. I don't know if you remember the movie. He fell in love with
Mhm.
Andy McDowell. Was it Andy McDowell? Right? Was the actress?
Could
He
be.
was
Can't remember.
infatuated. He was infatuated with an older woman, and he just like he just went nuts. He was infatuated, was following her around, stalking her, and all that stuff. Hold on, what is Wayne's World? Charlie
Wayne's
Sheen in Wayne's
World.
World?
No, not Charlie Sheen, the comedian. Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
I know. I mean, I don't think he was a crush.
Shrek. Who's this guy? What's his?
Yeah,
Myers.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't think he was a
Mike
heartthrob. I mean,
Myers.
he wasn't even. Yeah, he he wasn't famous during the '80s. I mean, he was part of a skit in Saturday Night Live, and then the movies came out, and that's kind of what launched his movie career. But he wasn't like on the level of Patrick Swayze, or unless Jepoy meant that Charlie Sheen was in Wayne's World, because I know Rob Lowe was in Austin Powers, right? He was one of the bad. He was the sidekick of the bad guy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right, right. He was the side. He was like the sidekick bad guy. Rob Lowe was like the sidekick bad guy in Austin Powers.
Wayne's World. Let's see.
Yeah, boy. Who
No,
was your
Wayne's
crush
World.
during the '80s?
Rob Lowe was in Wayne's World,
Okay, there you go. So that's probably what he meant. That's probably
and
what he
Rob
meant.
Lowe was also in the movie Tommy Boy. He was the boyfriend of the stepmother. Remember that?
Okay.
The
I
stepmother
don't
was
think I
like
saw that movie.
was it what's her name? Jackson. What's her name? No, no, no. Was it like what's her name? Like that sexy lady. Hang on. Is it Bo Jackson? Is it no?
Bo Derek.
No.
Bo Derek.
Bo Derek.
Probably
Bo
Bo
Derek.
Derek.
Bo Jackson's
Bo
like an
Derek.
athlete.
Ah,
Right? Bo
oh
Derek.
my God,
Bo
Bo
Derek.
Derek. Oh man,
Dude,
that's a
like
puberty
she
crush
was
too.
already
She's much
old.
older, but
She
that's a
was already
puberty crush.
old. All
She's
right, but
still
she was
hot.
already old.
She's still
This was
hot.
like Tommy Boy
She's
was
still
like
hot.
early '90s, and she was already old. So that means what? She's like in the '70s. Bo Derek's from the
Bo
'70s.
Derek is hot, man. I mean, if you don't know who Bo Derek is, watch Bolero. Just watch Bolero. That's the movie.
Bo
I
Derek.
remember watching
She
my
was
dad's
top.
VHS over and
Okay.
over.
So she was in the '70s because notable work Tarzan. This was in 1979, right? Um. Wow. Tarzan the Ape Man,
So
1981 film. Right. Okay. So John Corbett. What's this? John Corbett is what like? Were they married?
hmm?
Bo Derek. Yeah. Yeah, she's
No,
hot.
she's married to an director. I
Well,
think she's married to a director. Um, Cindy Crawford, Kelly LeBrock. Yeah, I'm looking at the. I just googled the list here of some names. I
right.
agree with Kelly LeBrock. I agree with Cindy Crawford. Johnny Depp. My eldest sister had a huge crush on Johnny Depp when he came out in
Oh
A
man,
Nightmare on Elm
Phoebe
Street.
Cates is so. She looks so old now. Phoebe Cates.
She is old. I know. I don't even want to Google their faces now because they're so old. It's like Alicia Silverstone. Yes, but no, that's '90s though, right? That's like
She was
'95.
in. Yeah, yeah,
But that's
she
included.
was active in
That's
the
included.
'90s. Yeah, but yeah, all right.
Okay,
Alicia Silverstone. Yeah,
Alicia
yeah, I had
Silverstone.
hots for her.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, Alicia
Excess
Silverstone.
baggage, Clueless, and
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
in
She had
those
her.
music videos of
Oh,
Aerosmith.
Ice. Wasn't Elizabeth Shue in Adventures in Babysitting? She was the babysitter, right? If you remember
Adventures
that
in
movie,
Babysitting.
Adventures in Baby. Oh, that was big in the
Um,
states. Adventures in Babysitting. I think she was the babysitter.
Adventures in
Um,
babysitting.
Molly Ringwald was also like quite popular. I
Yeah,
didn't
Molly
really have a
Ringwald was
crush
like
on her.
was big in the 80s.
She was
It
popular.
was
I
in
didn't have
every
a crush
movie, I think.
on her one.
Adventures in babysitting. Yes, Elizabeth Shue. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the babysitter. That's a good movie. If you haven't seen that, watch it with Snow. It's a family friendly movie, but it's not boring. I just don't know why they don't have movies like that on Netflix. Okay,
Hang on.
let's think about other
Who's the leading
crushes.
guy here? Who's this guy?
In
Hang
Adventures
on,
in
hang on.
Babysitting, there's the guy who played Thor, the guy who was in Full Metal Jacket.
George Newbern. George
I, I
Newbern.
you remember what's her
Remember this
name?
guy?
Okay, hold on. Are you gonna share it? George
George
Newbern
Newbern.
in
Right.
Adventures in
George
Babysitting.
Newbern. Yeah. Oh well. He's like linked to. He's linked to
Oh yeah, this guy
Elizabeth
looks. Yeah,
Shue,
yeah, yeah. I kind of remember him. Yeah, his younger
and
pictures. Yeah,
he was
yeah. I
one.
kind of remember him.
I was like watching a
I'm
TV
like,
drama,
what's
and
this guy's?
I was like,
This
"Oh,
guy
this
was
guy's
in
from
that.
the '80s."
What movie is this guy from? I'm trying to recall what movie he was from.
I think he was
When he
in
was
the
younger,
Double Switch.
he kind of looks like Ant-Man, 40-year-old virgin, doesn't he? He looks a little bit
Yes.
like what's his name?
Let's see.
Um,
Paul Rudd.
who's that? Yeah, yeah. He kind of looks like Paul Rudd.
See,
Paul Rudd.
George
Paul Rudd
Newbern.
was in. Paul Rudd was in Paul Rudd was in what's it called? Clueless, right? He was like the
Yes,
stepbrother.
yes. He was like sort of
He
the.
was a stepbrother.
Was he the stepbrother?
He was a stepbrother.
He played like a sort of a young professional there. He was wearing this, like he was wearing suit all the time with like
Yeah, he was
suspenders
dropping by, and they ended up together, I think,
and
because they fell in love. But they were not.
right.
It's just their parents got married, but they're not related by blood. You
Oh,
know.
this is a Disney movie, Double Star, Double Switch.
Okay, hold on. Let me check.
Have you seen this movie, Double Switch?
No, I've heard of it. Maybe I have, but it's one of those movies that you know. Okay. All right. Remember when we were talking about? Remember where are they now?
Uh-huh.
You remember the movie Lost Boys, right? Everybody loves that movie. Everybody can remember that movie. It's like a teenage vampire film, right? You remember like
Right,
she was pretty much like the lone female cast except for the mom who was played by Diane West. Jamie Gertz. You remember Jamie Gertz, right? From the
right.
Lost Boys. Did you know that she's the owner of the Atlanta Hawks now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she was one of the ones who decided to trade Trey Young or yeah for Luka Doncic. She was the one making that decision because I think her husband was like the owner, so she was the one running the operation.
All
So
right.
Jamie
Okay.
Gertz
So,
is, if you guys don't know her, she's from the
mhm,
Lost Boys, and she did a lot of '80s movies as well. If you see her face,
right.
you'll remember her. Winona Ryder, of course. Oh my God, yeah, huge crush on her too. She was weird though, but man, did you have a crush on
Reality
Winona Ice
bites,
or not
right?
your type? Yeah, was Winona your type or not your type?
Master Yoda was a big Winona guy. He would talk about Winona Ryder all the time. And yeah, she was okay, but she was too
She's
skinny. You know
pretty.
what I'm saying?
She had like weird
She has
roles.
a
She had
pretty
weird
face, but
roles.
she's just like too skinny. I mean, she's just like too thin for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Too
yeah.
petite.
She has like
I like
weird
chunky
roles.
girls. Yeah, I mean, at least
I get what you
with the
yeah,
curve.
I get what you mean. Like I didn't care back. Get a chair. I didn't care back then. You can get the stool. I didn't care back then about like the chunkiness, but
No,
as I got
okay,
older,
right.
I'm
Yeah,
with you. Like as I
because
got older, I started to like the chunk.
Winona Ryder, I I was more exposed to her when I was already in high school or junior high. That age, I was already a teenager. So at that time, you already know what your preference is, right?
Yes,
When it
yes,
comes to women.
yes,
But when I was
yes,
in
yes.
elementary school, it was more of I see Phoebe Cates,
The
what's her name
face.
again? Brooke Shields, Molly Ringwald.
Kami,
At
Kami
that
Martin.
particular time, Yeah, Carmi Martin. Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, like Carmi Martin is on. What's that? Chica
She
Chica
was a
Chicks,
calendar
or
girl. Yeah, she was in
she
Chicks
was
to Chicks,
in those
and she was
sitcoms,
also like
Chicks to
she
Chicks
was
or
in Chicks to
whatever. Yeah,
Chicks, and she was like the White Castle girl, I think. She was the White
Yeah, I think
Castle
she was
girl.
one of the White Castle
She was on the
girls.
horse,
'Cause
the
there were
red
like a
meat.
few who like who played that part, right, in the commercial. But I think she's one of them. But here's the thing: when I was in elementary, I just didn't care about figures and whatnot. When I see a girl and they have a pretty face, it's like, oh, like there's a pretty face, but that's it. But then
It
junior high
is.
school or high school, that's when it
We don't
started.
like
You
skinny
have
girls
this
anymore,
preference
right?
for, yeah. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
already
yeah.
know what your preference is when it comes to
Yeah.
ladies.
We're on the same
Yeah,
boat. like
right. Yeah.
like
So
like all of a
Winona Ryder, I
sudden
was
the
already in
body
high school,
matters.
so I'm like, no,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
too just too petite for me. Like, you can't grab anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean,
I get what you mean. I get what you
you
mean.
just want to grab stuff and, like, like
Once you have a
you
sexual
just want to
awakening,
grope
it's like you
things.
want
All
meat.
right.
You want meat on the bones, right?
I can't grope anything. Right.
Yeah, I get what you
It's
mean.
like grope. It's
Um,
like groping Master Yoda. I'll just grope you then, Master Yoda.
but I think it's flat,
I know.
flat and flat and bony. But that's yeah, I get what you mean. Our taste change. Like it's even like now, it's almost like 50-50 with the body and the face. It's almost like if she's got a hot body, if the face is passable, then you know what I'm saying. Unlike before, it was like 100% face. Like before, it was like
Mhm.
100% face. Now it's like it's almost 50-50. Like the body matters just as much. Like okay, pretty face. When you look at the body, it's like nah. You actually get turned off, right? But back in the day, but we can talk about that. It's a different topic. But let's continue with the crushes. So we don't know writer. We'll talk about that. We'll talk
Right.
about that. Like
But okay.
you know,
But my question: you haven't seen Double Switch or Double Star
no, I haven't. Okay, let me
with
check.
George
Let me
Newbern?
check the
Big in
like
the
the
80s.
poster if I've seen it. Double switch.
Um, this storyline is so popular that I think so many other movies followed with this type of concept. So they have the same face, and this guy's a nerd, the other one's a pop star. Then they switch because
Oh,
the
he played the
guy.
role of the guy. Oh, it's a Disney
Yeah,
movie.
so it's a Disney movie.
Hold on, maybe I've
Yeah,
seen this. I might have seen this.
so it has two titles: Double
Yeah, I might have
Star,
seen this.
but
Yeah, yeah.
on
So,
excuse me, on VHS it's double switch. And I remember
so
watching
it's just
this,
him.
and it's
So
just
it's him
him,
both, right?
and it's George Newbern.
Yeah.
So I was, and now I remember that he's in the TV drama Scandal. So I was like, why is this guy so familiar? Then, oh, he's the guy from Double Switch. Oh, he's too old now. And this was in the 80s when it's not even in the 80s, it's probably what, 91 or 90? But I remember I was like really
When they
small,
came
and
out. Yeah.
I was with my mom. We went to the beauty parlor, all right, to the hair salon, and I asked one of the hairstylists to, you know, rock me with that
Make your
hairstyle,
hair.
but I don't think they could do it with my hair because my hair is just, I don't know, just
Yeah.
probably boring. Like, I couldn't have that like sort of hairstyle, the one that the pop star had in Double Switch, and I really wanted to have that hairstyle, but yeah, Double Switch, George Newbern. But anyway, okay. Here's another name, Michelle Pfeiffer. Dude, I didn't realize how pretty Michelle Pfeiffer
That's
is. Not until I was like looking at a trailer of One Fine Day, and I was just like, oh, she was so pretty. Oh man, I just don't remember. Because
yeah, but except for the body,
man,
she has a pretty face, but the body, I'm not too. You know, she's kind of thin. But
dude,
I first
really?
noticed
Like,
Michelle Pfeiffer in the movie. She's kind of thin, man. She's kind of thin. She's not.
dude,
I
did you watch
mean,
Wolf? Did you watch Wolf or Wolfman, whatever?
with what's his name? Yeah, with
Jack
Jack
Nicholson.
Nicholson.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
like a sort of like a
I
short clip there. That, they were like, "Dude, like
okay, okay,
she
okay.
had a
Hold
great
on, hold
body."
on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, she looks hot in the
she has a
Catwoman
great body. What
suit.
are you talking
So
about?
okay, I can't knock her on that. Yeah, I can't knock her on that. She looked hot in the Catwoman suit. Okay, maybe borderline. Like she's borderline. You know,
And even
borderline
in
kind
the
of like.
what's that movie? The one with the kids. She was a teacher. Dangerous Minds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was a milf there already, right?
All right. Okay. Liv Tyler, okay. I thought she was really hot, but now I look at Liv Tyler, I'm like, oh, man, she's yeah. I mean, she's not that pretty.
She reminds me of Steven Tyler.
I know,
she was
right?
so she was so hot. She was
She was
so
a
hot in the music videos, the Aerosmith music videos, the Crazy
right,
and
exactly, right.
what's the other one?
Then you
Amazing
look
or
at her, it's like,
something?
oh,
Was it Crazy and then Amazing? It's
I don't remember.
amazing.
It's good.
Those two music
Yeah.
videos that she did with Alicia Silverstone, she
All
was
right, they
very
were
hot.
together, right?
And Armageddon, she was still hot in Armageddon. And then like after, like in Lord of the Rings, nah, not anymore. Like she started to look funny. She reminded me of Steven Tyler. But but she's she's hot. She was hot back then. We're talking
Jeez,
about back then. We're talking about back then.
jeez.
I mean,
If
I had
somebody
a
can,
crush on
if somebody's watching, they'd be like, "Wow, look at these two guys! Whoa,
High Standards.
heartthrobs, huh? High standards,
Hey, it's our
heartthrob, huh?
show.
Heartthrob
It's our
much?
show. Di magbuot. Di magbuot. It's our show. We can they can say what they want to say about us on their show. We don't
All
mind.
right, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
Renee Zellweger. She's 90's, right? Jerry Maguire.
Who?
I'd never seen her before. I didn't know anything about her, but when I saw her on Jerry Maguire,
Lizzie
my God,
McGuire?
don't you
Lizzie
get
McGuire?
you're smitten? Like she's so charming. She was so charming in Jerry Maguire. Renee Zellweger was like she had a very
Renee
refreshing face. She was kind
Zellweger,
of
right?
like
Renee
chubby, and she
Zellweger.
did
Renee,
Renee Zellweger, yeah, Jerry Maguire.
yes,
That's your favorite movie. I mean,
yes, yes. But then
what are your favorite
she
movies?
got old pretty fast. She got old pretty
She got
fast.
weird, yeah. Yeah, she looked weird. She started to look
But
weird,
she was so
but
pretty in that movie, Jerry
yeah,
Maguire.
she
She was
was,
just
she
like so
was, she
hot, man.
was,
She was just
she
like,
was.
oh, Renee
What
Zellweger.
about dark skinned ladies? Did you ever have the hots for dark skinned ladies? Because I had a huge crush for a while on Vanessa Williams, that singer. I know she's not. She was an
What are
actress
you
too. I think
talking?
she did
She's
acting
hot.
too.
She is hot. What are you
Vanessa
talking about?
Williams,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, Vanessa
Save the best for
Williams. Rick
last.
Fox. Lucky
Yeah,
son of a
she's
bitch.
hot. Yeah.
Lucky
Yeah,
son of a
yeah, Rick
bitch, Rick
Fox.
Fox.
That's right. Rick Fox. Tamia is hot too. Tamia, right?
Tamia, right? Tamia.
Officially missing
Tamia.
you. She's
Officially.
hot
Yeah,
too. Tamia's hot too.
I
I
was
mean,
just
Alicia
listening to
Keys, right?
her
We're all
song
mostly singers.
earlier.
Yeah.
I was taking a bath.
Yeah, we're
Right.
talking mostly about
Um,
like. I mean, I kind of had a crush on Kellis too from Milkshake. Just from the music video
my
because
milkshake
the music video
all of a
was
sudden.
suggestive. The music video was very suggestive.
Yes. Yes. Milkshake.
A
Milkshake.
milkshake makes a voice to the. Okay, Richard Gere, A Pretty Woman, and yeah, Officer and a Gentleman. Yeah, Richard Gere has that like
He's
he's like
got
a
that X
subtle
factor.
badass. He has that X factor. It's hard to. Some people are just born with it. Like you just have that look. Like he doesn't even have to say anything. He'll just like smoke a cigarette. Kind of like who's that guy who died early from a car accident? Um,
Which one?
James Dean, like James Dean, kind of like James
James
Dean,
Dean.
like James Dean, just like
Right.
or Clint Eastwood. They just have that look. Meg
Yes.
Ryan
Yes.
back in
Meg
the day,
Ryan.
yes, she was. Meg
She was
Ryan back in
big.
the day, she was.
You've got
She was. She was
mail.
cute.
What was
Harry
her?
Met
What
Sally,
movies was she
Sleepless in
in?
Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle. Kate and
Um,
Leopold.
yeah, Kate Leopold. I'm trying to recall which. Oh, she was in Top Gun too. She was Goose's wife. Remember?
Right. Top Gun.
She was Goose. That was like the
Yes.
first
Was
movie I
she in
saw her
Inner
in.
Space? Was she in Inner Space, or was it just Dennis Quaid?
Well, they
Have you
got
seen Inner
married, right?
Space?
So I'm not. Maybe they did that movie together. No, I don't. I know about the
Oh,
movie,
Meg
but I
Ryan.
don't.
She
I
was in it.
don't.
She was in Dennis
Okay.
Quaid and Meg Ryan. They were together in that movie with Martin Short. Right. Yeah. Well, Dennis Quaid was big. Right. He was he was a heartthrob back then. In the 80s.
Yeah, that is
Great Balls of
great.
Fire.
Yeah, he was like the
Um,
dad who could kick your butt.
and I like him. Dennis Quaid. Like
I like him
I'm
too.
like a
I like him
fan.
too.
I
He's
always watch his
like
movies.
he's like a more chill Mel Gibson. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
think so.
he's a
Yes.
more versatile Mel Gibson. Because he
Right.
can be a badass. I mean, he looks like a
Yeah,
badass.
he
Doesn't he?
can
Like
be a
he looks like a
badass. He
badass,
can be funny
but he's
too.
more
Right.
vulnerable. But he's more vulnerable. Mel Gibson's like it's hard for Mel Gibson to be like chill because we associate him with like movies where he's kind of crazy, like
Yeah.
Lethal
Braveheart.
Weapon, Braveheart,
Patriot.
Conspiracy Theory, right? He was kind of like
Yes. Yes.
conspiracy theory. He
Yes.
was like paranoid there.
Right.
Um, so we associate him with movies like that. So, but good suggestion so far. Richard Gere, Meg Ryan, Liv Tyler. Obviously, Tom Cruise is probably automatic. Johnny Depp is probably automatic. Um, who else is big
Have you
during
seen
the?
Edward Scissorhands?
Yes, way back, way back. I was still
Right.
thinking high
I
school
remember
when
that
that came out.
movie. It freaked me out.
Yeah,
I mean, why would a
yeah.
guy have
I
hands
know, no, it was a
for
weird
sisters,
movie.
right? Or sisters
I
for
did not
hands?
like it. The first time I saw it, I didn't like it, but a lot of weird movies came out during that time. Beetlejuice came out during that time.
Yeah,
Edward
Powder came
Scissorhands came
out.
out during that time.
I don't
Powder was
even
a weird movie
I don't
too.
even remember what
Uh,
what the storyline was or what was the
this just
plot
like
of
this white
Powder.
dude, like
Yeah, I
this white
know.
dude, right?
Was was he hit
Isn't
by
isn't he
lightning
George
or
McFly? Isn't he George McFly? Wasn't he George McFly?
I'm not
Who was the actor who
Powder?
played Powder? I'm not sure.
Powder.
Was it?
Powder.
Yeah, like
Mm,
searching here. We have to
human.
see.
Can't
I'll do our
remember that.
homework. We like
Oh, no, no, no. I
yeah,
don't think it's him. Powder.
different guy.
What's his
Oh no,
name?
it's a different guy.
It's a different guy. What's his
This looks
name?
like the guy who played tennis, like the guy in the Vinci Code, right?
All right.
The tall
Name?
dude.
Sha-
The
Sean
tall.
Patrick
the-
Flannery? That's his name?
oh no, no, no! He looks like the guy in the Vinci Code, doesn't he?
This
The
guy?
or 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 the guy in that tennis or Priest. Remember that movie Priest?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, he's the Marvel guy. What's his name? Um,
Archangel. Archangel. He's Angel. He
no, no,
plays the
no,
role
no,
of
not
Angel, right?
Archangel. No,
Oh no, no, no,
no,
no, no. Vision,
he's
Vision,
Iron
Vision.
Man's
He's
Vision.
Vision.
Yeah, so yeah, Vision.
Vision. Yeah, he's Vision.
Uh,
Yeah, he plays the
what's
role of
his
Vision.
name? Oh, crap,
God,
man.
what's this guy's name? I know.
I like this guy too.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany.
Paul
Paul
Bettany,
Bettany.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was in the tennis movie, right?
yeah,
Wimbledon,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
I think he was in
No, was it
Yeah,
Wimbledon?
Wimbledon, I think. Was it Wimbledon? Hold on. No, 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 no. Maybe it wasn't Wimbledon. Let me
Was
see.
it? It could be a mismatch. What's
It,
that like? Match point. Hang on.
yes, it's Wimbledon. It's Wimbledon, 2004, with Kirsten Dunst.
Yes. Is it
He was
Wimbledon? Oh,
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. All right. Okay, Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, yeah. It tells Wimbledon. Kirsten Dunst. He looks like Paul Bettany looks like he could be a member of like a British rock band, and he would fit in.
A match
He
point's a
could be
different
like a member of,
movie.
yeah,
Match
that's a different
point
movie. That's a different movie.
is it's a lousy movie. Not as good as yeah, Wimbledon.
But it's what's her name? Scarlett, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's Scarlett and I don't know who the other guy is, but anyways. Was it Scarlett?
Okay, Brooke Shields. Yes, we mentioned Brooke Shields earlier.
Yeah,
Who
everybody
else?
was in love with Brooke Shields. Was Cindy Crawford big here? She was so big in the US. Cindy
She was
Crawford, Karina
big. What are you talking?
Pliskova.
Yes, I've
All the
seen Fair Game.
all
Fair
yeah, but that's
Game.
probably like the
Have you
only
seen Fair
movie.
Game?
No, I haven't seen Fair Game, but I know about
Big
that movie.
nudity there.
Was that Richard
See
Gere?
that
Was
luck?
that Richard Gere?
No, no, that's William Baldwin. See that lucky son
Oh,
of a
okay,
bitch
okay.
guy.
Him
Sharon
again?
Stone. Him again. I know.
Cindy
Sharon
Crawford?
Stone. Cindy Crawford. Are you kidding me?
That guy
Holy
again.
crap.
No, but the guy I envied was the guy in Two Moon Junction with Sherilyn Fenn. That was the guy I envied. Gosh, hold on. What's that guy's name? This like, God, what's that guy's name? Richard Tyson. That dude. I envy that guy back in the day. But anyways. So we're talking about like steamy movies. We should have an episode on steamy movies. Brooke Shields, yeah. But the thing with Brooke Shields, though, the funny thing about Brooke Shields is like, if you ask somebody like, where do you remember Brooke Shields from? Like most of us would probably say from seeing her on the posters on the wall, but really only Blue Lagoon. And how many really remember seeing Blue Lagoon? And she wasn't even naked in Blue Lagoon. Like they never showed anything. She was just. I just remember they were like playing in the mud, and then they were playing in like a river or something. Um,
Hmm.
And who was the guy with her? That blonde dude with afro hair,
I forgot. I
who
forgot.
reminds me of the guy from A Real American Hero. Was it? It wasn't William Cat, was it? God, that's like such an old movie. But that's really, we just know her because of her beauty. We don't really know her. That was 1980. Oh my god.
Oh, come on, look
Um,
at that. Look at that.
Holy crap.
See that? Look, son of a
Christopher
bitch.
Atkins. The guy is Christopher Atkins. Who are you talking about? What's his name? You
William
talking about the
Baldwin. There
Baldwin
it
dude?
is. William Baldwin. He's like the Patrick
There.
Guzman of the Philippines. Always in those R-rated films.
Yeah, and he's not even like that popular of an actor. You know what I'm saying? But he just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stars with these ladies that we lust after, and
Right.
for some reason, I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's better than fame, I guess,
You're right. That's
to
the
be in the
only
same
film
movie
that she
with.
did, and she did some nudity there. She actually showed her
Yeah,
tits.
she showed her breast. I think. Yeah, she did. She did. She showed her breast. If you're quick enough, you can actually see breast exposure of Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. You have to be really quick with the remote. You have to be able to
But
pause it and
okay,
slow
but
motion
that's the
it.
thing with okay, what's her name? Julia Roberts.
Julia
I don't see
Roberts.
her as like that. She's to me, she's just this um romantic
Like
actress,
crush,
right? For
like
yeah,
wholesome,
for romance and love
not sexual.
stories. Not yeah, not sexual. I would you see
Yeah, yeah.
that's why I love Runaway Bride, Notting Hill, right? I mean her roles there. They weren't really sexual. She's that girl next door or something.
Yeah.
So it's that
I don't
type
know if
of
Jeppo is listening, but we mentioned like Two Moon Junction like 50 times, and then he writes it, types in Two Moon Junction. Did I mention that like from the start of the show? Don't mention once we mentioned
well, he
already.
wasn't around yet when you were when you mentioned it. He
No, no,
wasn't
no. I just
listening yet.
mentioned it
So
just now. I just mentioned
yeah, I
like
know,
how I
right?
envy that guy. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's
No, because
listening,
somebody
but
typed
anyway,
Brooke Shield, so he typed Tumon Junction, right? But okay, let's
yeah,
see. Who else? Sherilyn Fenn you mentioned, but
yeah. Sherilyn
who else were
Fenn. Oh my god.
who are sex symbols?
Oh my god. I'm trying to recall. Did you have a crush on Kim Cattrall in Mannequin?
Of course, of
She's this
course.
horny chick in Sex in the City.
Yes,
So
yes.
right,
Kim
right.
Cattrall, that iconic,
She was also in
that
Porky's,
iconic
wasn't she?
scene.
Was that
What?
Porky's? She was in Porky.
Porky?
I think she was in
I don't know. I
Porky's.
don't know
She was
Porky's.
well, it's like a popular college film in the U.S. It's like Police
I
Academy, but
mean that.
it's about like college kids or high school
I mean,
kids.
who
Porky,
can
I remember.
forget? I mean, right? Who can forget Kim Cattrall? Like, nah, no, nobody can forget her because
I just you
of
know
that
what movie I
iconic.
just saw last night, and I know you'll remember who the girl is.
Yes,
I just saw a movie last night. And I can't believe I sat through the whole movie. I didn't pay attention the whole time, but I finished the film on Netflix. Under Siege. So you know who the girl is, right?
Erica Eleniak.
Speaking
Oh
of
my god,
speaking of
Erica Eleniak. See, here's the thing.
speaking
Here's
of
the thing. Yeah, right. Speaking of which, and also in Baywatch back then, they used to
yeah.
show breast
Yes.
exposure, right? In
Yes.
Baywatch, and
Yes.
I think she did
Um
a little bit.
really they did?
I think they did. I remember that because they also had
I just know they
episodes
were
where they would like.
like there would be like two piece. I don't know if they bared everything, but I know there were a lot of close calls, like or maybe the claro nip moments, but but I don't know if like they actually showed it because that's
I could be
David
mistaken. I could
Hasselhoff,
be
man.
mistaken. I could be
I mean,
mistaken,
it's
but
like a series, so I don't know. I mean, Pamela Anderson was there. Erica Alagnac was
Pamela
there.
Anderson, yes,
Who was the younger
yes.
girl? Nicole Eggert was there. Oh
Nicole
man!
Eggert.
She's yeah, she was like
I'm not
young.
tall. I'm not tall,
And,
so I'm like
and then they came out with like the
I
newer
can't
chicks
pick on
with
her
like bigger
height, but
boobs who
I think she's just too small.
replaced like hold on, was Carmen Electra there? I think Carmen Electra was there too, right?
Well, I think she was part of.
When she
She
dated
was
Dennis
she was
Rodman.
part of Baywatch at some point.
Yeah, I think Carmen Electra was there.
Yes, she's a member
So
of Baywatch.
So keep them coming, guys. Okay, who else? Because we're gonna try to find out what happened to these people. I mean, okay, Richard Gere, he's still active, so we know what's up with him. Alicia Silverstone, she's a mom. She's busy parenting. Um, um, Load mo na ako PBB. Really? Seriously, bro? And you're a friend. You're my friend. I don't have a friend who watches
Sige,
PBB, man. Do people still watch
Anak ka,
PBB?
Jeps. Miyak ka, miyak ka. Mamiyak ka ba?
PBB? If you're gonna watch Two Moon Junction, it's okay. Grabe
Well,
PBB,
maybe
man.
there's a
No
hot girl
wonder
in
he wasn't
PBB
paying
right
attention.
now.
What?
Maybe there's a hot girl in PBB right now, right? They
There
usually have
is?
hot girls there, right? I don't know. I never watch these things. Joke lang. Joke lang, ikaw naman, di ka mabiro eh.
Dude, I didn't.
Yeah, boy,
PBB,
you know
like
what? Now you can't escape because we would be calling you every now and then
yeah,
just to wait for
PBB.
you to
We'll call
respond.
you
Because if you
PBB.
don't respond, that
Call
means
you
you're out.
We'll call. Yeah, they
Say,
probably
Jeff, are you still there?
PBB.
Yes, Sam. Yes, Sam.
PB. I mean, I don't have TV anymore, regular TV, so I don't know what's going on in regular TV world. I'm just in
Who
YouTube and
does?
Netflix world,
Who does?
right?
Who does?
Oh, apparently Jepoy. Jepoy does because he still watches PBB. He probably has the ABS. What is it that special thing that they have? That TV that you can get like I don't know, you can get like Jeepney TV and stuff. This little like
Hmm.
box TV Plus. I don't know what that thing does, but
Right.
right, I know they used to sell that. It's like you can watch like their other shows or other. I don't know. I just remember back in the day, it was a big deal if you had the Ernie Baron antenna. Remember the Baron antenna? Like people went on a craze. People were like buying the Baron antenna as if you could pick up like HBO and Cinemax with it. Remember
Yeah,
the
what's up with
Baron Ernie
that?
Baron? You don't remember the Baron antenna? It's like this
I
long
remember.
thing.
I
You can
remember.
connect.
I remember that. But what does it really do?
Because I
That's my
don't know. Because
question.
I
Because
remember
it was kind of
I
big. Like
remember
everybody
like
had it. We
yeah,
didn't,
it's
but
this big.
all our neighbors had
Everybody
it.
had it. Because I remember
Right.
like
So
going to a
what does it
friend's
do?
house and like their reception was clear or something, or they went to my house and my reception wasn't clear, and they said, "Bay, ko yung baron antenna, bay. You could get all these channels and crap." I'm like, really? Like it's supposed to be really
Like what
clear?
channels? What channels are you
Like
talking about? Are you talking about HBO
probably
or
yeah,
Cinemax,
I know exactly. I know it's like
AFN?
because
I mean, if these are not the
because
channels that you're talking about, then forget it.
Because remember when you had cable and you weren't paying for all the channels, like you could go to
Yes.
the channel of HBO and you could see a little bit of what's going on, but you can't watch the whole thing. Like it's not clear.
Yes.
Like
Mhm,
you
mhm.
could hear the voice and stuff. Bruce Lee. Oh, okay. Well, it's her thing. She had a crush on Bruce Lee. That's like 70's though.
I know. I think he was already dead
I
when I
think he
was
died in
born.
the 70's. Didn't he die during the 70's? I think he died like
I
70s.
think I think
I
he's
think he
already dead
died
when I
like when
was born.
Elvis died.
Well, like what, mid
What?
70s? He probably died mid
I think he died
70s.
77. I think
All right.
Bruce Lee died.
See,
Mary Beth, how
that's a
old are
year before I
you?
was born. Oh, Tita, come on. Stop giving away your age.
Maybe
All
you're
right.
talking
Okay.
about Bruce, like isn't that the name of Redford White, Bruce?
I
Like
think so.
Redford White became
Bruce.
known as like Bruce or something in like a movie or a series. Anyway, sorry, but Joyce Jimenez is my ultimate crush. Okay. You're talking about like sexy Pinay
Scorpionites.
stars.
All right. Yeah. Scorpionites.
Um, who was yours, Ice? I mean, there's Joyce Jimenez, there's Anna Capri. Nobody really liked Anna Capri, but she was always naked. Um, God, who's the other one?
What?
Priscilla Almeida. I know you're a Priscilla Almeida guy. There's another one.
Nah, not
The
really.
the M girl one. The M girl one.
Aubrey Miles?
No. Another one. She came out during the time of Joyce Jimenez. Oh gosh, she's like her hair's long.
Rosana?
She's fake. No, not Rosana Roses. She's kind of like English also. Oh my
Uh-huh.
god, what's her name? She's gone now. She made some movies. Not Christina Gonzalez. Christina Gonzalez didn't start out as a sexy star. She was like a legit actress, and then she went to do ST films, and so
Right.
did Gretchen, but
So it was Christina Gonzalez and Gretchen Barreto were like competing, and Rita Avila.
yes,
They're
yes,
the
yes,
top three
yes. Rita
STV
Avila, yes,
stars
yes, yes,
back then.
yes. Rita Avila,
So your pick
yeah.
would be just Gretchen Barreto, Rita Avila, or Christina
Oh my
Gonzalez.
God, that's tough. I'd go with
And I didn't
Christina
mind. I was
Gonzalez,
like,
man. She's still
whoever,
hot.
whoever.
Christina Gonzalez is still hot now. Not Maui
Maui
Taylor.
Taylor,
Not Maui
not
Taylor.
Maui Taylor.
Um,
All right. Who?
Anna. Her last name is like American. They use an American
Miles,
last
Aubrey
name. Yeah.
Miles.
Not Aubrey Miles. Not Aubrey Miles came later. She was like in yeah. Aubrey Miles was like much later. She came out with Joyce Jimenez. Oh God, what is that girl's name?
Rica Paralejo.
Uh, Not Abby
Abby.
Viduya. No, Rica Panaleo. Like
That's Abby
that's
Bidu
not an American
is
last name.
Priscilla Almeida.
Um, Pinay
Amanda
ST
Page.
star. Amanda
Amanda Page.
Page. That's it. Amanda Page. That's the
But she
one.
wasn't really an
Whatever happened to
ST
her?
star, was she? I don't think
Yeah,
she was an ST. Okay,
she showed her boobs, man.
okay. What film? What film? Give me a title.
Uh, oh, okay. You just okay. Hold on. Just search for it. Amanda Page boobs. Um, I don't know. I know she also started a movie with what's his name, the Kabitenyong Batanggenyong Kabateño.
Batanggenyang
Okay, this
Caviteño.
is a white chick. This is not like
William
Amanda Page.
Martinez.
The
No, no. Will. What's his name? What's it? Martinez, but not William.
not William Martinez.
Yeah, of course. Like, what's his name?
Okay, Amanda Page was in what is this movie? Yeah. What is this film? She was in. Okay, I can send you. I can. Okay, maybe she didn't take it all. Oh, she did. She did. She showed a little bit. Yeah. Shower scene. She was in a shower scene. I don't know what this guy is. Probably Joko Diaz. Joko Diaz also gets lucky. Hit that guy. Tatsulok, I think. That's it.
Si
Probably.
Tatsulok?
Probably. But I'm looking at the picture now. So
Yes,
you see it?
probably. Of course. Why would I ask? That's why I asked.
I knew this was gonna go nowhere. This was just an excuse for an episode. This is just an ex- Let's do an episode about crushes and then let's do a search on them. Ice is
Come on,
gonna
let's
get
talk
busy
about guys
tonight.
too. Come on, man.
Ice is
Let's
gonna
talk
get
about
busy
guys.
tonight.
Right? Let's talk about guys too. All right. So
Okay, let's end
I
the show early.
mentioned.
Let's end the show early. I gotta get busy. it's like, it's
Oh,
like
but see,
it's
here's
like you
the
just
thing.
got a
Here's the
new.
thing.
It's like you
No,
just got a new VCD, right? And your friends invite you out, and you don't go. You don't join them. PC ko ba yung PC ko? You have a new VCD.
yes,
Wala nang
all to
gana lumabas.
myself.
Wala
I
nang
have it
gana
all to
lumabas.
myself tonight. Yes. Then all your tissue boxes are there.
It's
You
tougher
know.
for you though because you have little brothers. You know, we're always hacking around. It's hard for you to get
But
privacy.
yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now I don't think it applies, man. With the internet and everything, I don't think you
Oh
need
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like back in the day,
It's
yeah,
all on our phone.
that
I
was
know, I know.
that was what we did, right? I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
yeah, yeah.
thing for us. You know, we get a copy of a DVD or a VCD or a
You
VHS
don't go
tape,
out anymore. Di na
right?
ako
Yo, or you get
makabasbay.
a copy of a new Playboy magazine or whatever, right? And like, all right, I'm just gonna hog this and just like, yeah, lumuluman na ni, right? This is
You're
gonna
like the
happen.
20th. You're the 20th guy in class to borrow the copy of Playboy with Jenny McCarthy on it. Because I remember in college we had a Dexter, my friend, my compadre, had a copy of Jenny McCarthy's Playboy
She was big
spread,
back then.
and she was big. Jenny McCarthy, that spread was like totally naked, you know. And obviously I wasn't with my dad anymore, so I couldn't check out his Playboy. So we passed that Playboy around. Like it ended up coming back to me. I'm like, hey, I already borrowed this. Why are you lending this to me again? Because everybody wanted to get it out of their hands. You didn't want it to stay at your house very long because you don't want your mom to find out or whatever. But it was almost like illegal drugs, like when you think about Playboy magazines or Penthouse magazines back then in high school or in college, it was almost like contraband material. you didn't want to be caught with it for some reason. But anyways, so okay. Now why did we end up with Pinoy sexy stars? We started out with like
Sexy
crushes,
stars.
and now we're like Maui Taylor. Amanda.
Oh man, the quality of the show.
It's it's just how it. Oh, by the way, I would like to thank my sponsor Gabby D for giving me. Now here's the thing. I know this is a PlayStation like cap because these are the logos of the buttons and the controller. But somebody told me, my brother-in-law told me that it's a Squid Game cap. So the Squid Game have the exact same logos.
Squid Game doesn't have X and square
Okay, so it only has the circle and the triangle.
and umbrella and star.
Okay, Squid Game has different logos. So this is a PlayStation one. It's not a
Yeah,
Squid
that's a
Game
PlayStation.
cap.
That's a PlayStation
Yeah.
cap.
Oh, by the way, I played online with a guy from the States through this PlayStation 5 forum, and I told him I have a friend in Japan who can't get his hands on a PS5, and he said I can get him a PS5, but it's gonna cost him because if he knows where to get it in the States, but he'll add like $50 for like the effort, and then if he ships it to you in Japan, it's gonna be like $200. I'm like, no, I don't think he's willing to pay that much. I'm like, he was just he was just wondering
No, I
why he
can
couldn't
I
get a
can probably try
PS5.
to get it here, but the way they do it here is that you have to join a raffle. So when you join a raffle
Same
and they
here.
pick your
Same
name,
here.
so
Then you
it's
have a
like, all
chance to
right,
buy it.
you get yeah, you get a chance to buy it. Now you don't get it for free. I'm like, what kind of a freaking raffle is this? Back in the day, I remember raffles. If you win the raffle, you get it for free. You get the damn stuff for free.
No, you win the raffle, you get a chance to buy it. It's like what
All right,
scam.
this is a travesty. This is a travesty. All right, you win the raffle. You'll get a chance to buy it for $500. What the heck, man? Raffles are supposed to be like a
Yeah,
big deal. Like if you win it, that means you get it for free. It's like winning the lottery. That's what it is.
that's true. That's true. But it's different now. Even the Toy Kingdom, it's the same thing. You go to Toy Kingdom, you ask them you have a PS5. They have no, sir, but you can go online and fill up. When you can join the raffle, and you can. I'm like, what? Um. Anyway, and it's not even like I mean I have a PS5 and it's not even like worth it. I mean most of the games there are PS4 games. There are only like maybe 3 games that's PS5 that I'm actually playing, and it's not that far from PS4 graphics. So they're not at that stage yet where they're really churning out AAA PS5 titles. So for those trying to get
So
their hands on a PS5, wait it out.
what are
It's
you
not
trying to
worth it.
say? I should wait for PS6?
No, what I'm trying to say is you wait until it's available in stores and you can buy it at MSRP price.
Okay.
Because if you get it now, everybody's like freaking out over it. And there's really, once you get the system, it's still up to the games that's available. And if there aren't enough good games, because you can play PS4 games on it, and what happens is, yeah, there are a lot of games, but most of them are PS4 games. Like the only worthwhile PS5 games worth playing is probably only like 5 at most. Spider-Man, NBA 2K. I mean, games that you probably don't even play. So it's not worth it. But if you want a game that you can play and enjoy with your kid, it's a Switch. That's the system to get.
Can you play Street Fighter on your iPad?
Yeah, but it's not as fun because the control. That's the thing with mobile games.
What
That's
if I
why I don't play
buy
ML.
what if I buy
It's
like a
it's not
controller?
as
Like a
you can Bluetooth connect it with a controller. If you
yes.
can buy you can actually buy a PS4 controller and
Because I have
Bluetooth
an
it with your
iPad
phone. Then
Air,
that's better.
which is bigger,
Yeah, you can, you
and
can, you can.
Reese is doing games on her iPad, and she has a controller. So she was like, "All right, let me get Street Fighter first, then I'll tell you if it's worth it." Because I was planning to get my own controller, and I would get the Street Fighter game. But she was like, "All right,
Yeah,
let me get the Street Fighter first, then I'll tell you if it's worth it. If
yeah.
if you can use the
It's not
Bluetooth
bad. It's not bad.
controller."
Um, I have the PS. It depends which one you get. There's a Super Street Fighter 4. There's a Street Fighter 5, I think. I remember downloading. I remember on my old iPhone getting but I never hooked it up with the controller, so I was playing it on the screen. And I'm not a fan of mobile gaming. I don't know how people can play ML and be good at it because the control is on the screen, and you're literally like, it's
No, I can't play
for me.
that
It's fun.
too. Like I'm not a gamer, but I played
It
games
covers
back
like
in the
half
day.
the screen.
If
Yeah.
if I have to push buttons on my screen, no, forget it. I'm
And
not
you
gonna
don't
do it.
feel it,
So
so you're not
yes,
sure. Like
exactly,
if you lift up your finger, you put it back. It's not gonna be like where it's and it's covered.
exactly,
You can change
right?
the view. You can change it where you want it to be. Like you want it to put it on the top of your
Yeah,
screen.
yeah. My son's like he's just used to it. I think it depends on what you're used to. We come from an older gamer generation, so we're
Right.
used
Yeah.
to
No, me,
physical
I don't think I
controls.
can do that. I don't think I can do that. I think
Yeah,
if I'm going to play games, I need to have a controller, an actual controller for the
same
actual
here.
game.
Same here. I can't even play on the PC, man, because like I tried playing Dota on the PC, and a friend of mine told me how to do it. So like you put your fingers on like CAW something, and I can't freaking KD invite Angie Carnival date sa PBB. Jepoy,
See,
tigil mo na yan. Magbago ka na. Tigil mo na yan.
KD,
Para sa kinabukasan mo.
NG, NG Carnival. Are these people hot?
Hey Gab, I already thanked you for the sponsorship. I don't know if you were tuned in, but yeah, Gabby D sponsored this Squid Games cap.
So who's
No,
Katie? Katie Estrada?
PlayStation cap.
Katie Estrada is the girl, or Angie's
Okay,
the
who's the
girl?
hot chick? Who's the hot chick in PBB? Let's do a research. So who's the hot chick in PBB? Uh,
Angie Salvation?
KD is a guy. So there's one named Angie. Okay, maybe this one, Angie Salvacion. Okay, is this the hot chick in PBB? Oh, okay. Hold on. Stop the presses.
Alright,
All right, chubby, chubby,
alright.
chubby. Yeah.
She's alright. She's
Puede. Puede, puede, puede. 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 Where are these people coming from? I mean, I don't follow PBB, so I don't. Puede. Puede, puede. Yeah, until she meets Aljur, one of those baracos. Okay, hold on. Speaking of Aljur, what's the name of his wife? Kylie, right?
Kylie Padilla.
Now that guy's funny because like look at who the girls he's messing with. Kylie Padilla and the daughter of Jerry Craval. Like Jerry Craval was like the poor man's Robin Padilla back in the day, right? So he's
Right.
got this obsession with like these two action icons from the 90's or 80's or whenever these guys were big. He's going after the daughters. You know, he probably has that. I don't know, because I mean, from Robin Padilla's daughter to Jerry Craval's daughter, who is he gonna mess with next? Ronnie Riquette's daughter? I mean, speaking of Ronnie Riquette, does Ronnie Riquette have a daughter? Because his wife, who's his wife? The girl with the only one
Maurice?
name? Oh yeah, that's it.
Maurice.
Yeah. Nobody knows her last name. What is her last name of Maurice?
Maurice. Philippine. Maurice Ricketts. See?
Nobody
It's
knows her.
Maurice Ricketts. Maurice Ricketts.
Oh yeah,
She's
Ronnie Ricketts has a daughter, dude. Eh, Ronnie Ricketts has a daughter. But Maurice is still prettier than the daughters.
I know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Maurice and the dog. I'll go for the mother.
Yeah,
I'll go for the
but look
mom.
at the did you see the swimsuit photo?
All right. Well,
Did you see?
nope. I don't know which
Okay, I
one.
don't know if
I don't
I
know
don't know
which
how I
one
can send this.
you're talking about. All right.
She's like on the beach, the daughter,
The beach. All right. Ah, all right. Okay. No, because I wasn't
chubby, right? Meaty
Ronnie
daughter. Just
Ricketts.
type Ronnie Ricketts' daughter, and it will be there. The swimsuit one,
Holy crap.
right? It's a lot of meat on that bone, huh? I told you.
Oh yeah. All right. Here.
Yeah,
All right.
chubby, right? Yeah,
Mm, mm.
yeah. I got that
Okay.
curves and everything. Okay. Yeah, we're getting too old for this crap. No, we're not. Anyways, so where were we? She looks like a bad girl too. Like she doesn't have the innocence of the mom. Because the mom has like Maris does that. Like I don't think I've ever seen Maris like wearing a two piece. Like Ice. Yeah, he said,
What?
I've never seen Maris wear a two-piece. Raj was like, yeah, she's always wearing a three-piece. You know, so
Liwat? Liwat?
no, he's actually funnier.
Well, hang on. Is Raj with
Yeah.
you inside the room?
Dude, he's like, we're face to face, man.
Ra-
Stop.
Raj!
He's like,
What's wrong with you?
he's like
Get away from your
he's like an
dad!
internet, he's like, it's like an internet cafe here, you know? Like we each
Oh,
have our own thing
man.
going on.
Liwat sa aman.
Yeah, Naku, naku, anak, bro. My son's big, man. I mean, like, he's my buddy. Like I told you, like, I don't need to go out. I'm exhausted. Like, I hang out with this guy. He's like, you
Oh,
know,
man.
and there's something about your son making you feel kind of stupid sometimes. You know, like, oh, why didn't I think of that? You know how kids are smart now? Like, like, like back then when we would talk back to our parents, it was disrespectful, right? Because we didn't know any better. But now the kids actually know better. So when they talk back to you, it's like you can't really say they're wrong. So you use your disrespectful card, right? Instead of like that's a stupid remark. Anyway, yeah, he's
You just tell her
playing.
to
I
shut
don't
up
know.
from time to time. Shut up, right? I don't listen to what you have to say. I'm the dad here. You're the daughter. Know your
Then she'll
place.
play the then she'll play the piano on you and she'll go, "Pa, can you do this? Huh? Huh? Huh?" And you're like, "That's my frustration." I mean, we all. I mean, dude, you know that's like one of my fantasies. You know, like don't you ever fantasize about that stuff? Like going to a girl's house and she thinks you're this like canto boy who's rough around the edges, and then all of a sudden you see a piano and you know their parents are there and they're all like rich and shit, and then you're like all of a sudden, you want to play the piano? I'm like, I don't really know how to play. I'm like you don't know how to play. Then you sit there and you
I'll
play
do
like
just one, just one.
that's like a fantasy, right?
Don't go
That's like, and
changing
your dad's like,
to
your dad's
try
like,
to please me.
you know, he's the one. He's the one. I mean, like, I've never been able to do that. Have you ever been able to do that? See, that's the thing. We should have. Whenever we introduce ourselves, like back in the day, if we got to know girls, we should never have told them we were DJs. You know, and like one day,
What?
like you know,
And all of a sudden, like, oh, can you do ad libs? Hey, hey, happy
no, no,
birthday!
no, no, no,
Happy birthday!
like
So,
no, like bring her to a radio station or like she's be listening to you and like her friends would tell her like, "Oh, I listen to Iceman," and she'd be like, "Who's that guy?" It's like, "Oh, it's this Ulrich guy," and she'd be like, and then she'll message you. She go,
what?
"Ikaw, di mo man lang
Albert's the
sinabi
Fritz?
DJ ka pala." Di mo man lang sinabi ko
Why?
pala si
Why?
Iceman.
You did not tell me you're Alrich the Fritz?
But you know what? That would never happen with us because you know why? We see a girl and we're like, I'm a DJ. Like, maat pa.
There's
Maat
there's a
pa.
girl. There's 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 a pretty girl. You'd be like, number one hit music station.
Today's best music. Music and party.
The voice of summer. The beat of summer.
Be Friday Madness. You know, like, I mean, dude, that's it just goes to show you how much we relied on
Tunog
that
Kalye.
for
Tunog
nothing.
Kalye. It was Tunog Kalye. Then what happened to it? It
Overload.
was Tunog Kalye. No, okay, it was Tunog Kalye. Then
Pero
what happened
Calye
to that?
became local
Uh,
vocal. It became
a
local.
local
It
vocal.
became
There you go.
local.
Local
It became
vocal.
local brew, and then it
Local
became local
vocal.
vocal. But
Local
I
brew,
like the
then local
Tunog
vocal.
Calye
Or was
plug.
it local
Remember?
vocal and then
I
local
like the
brew?
Tunog Calye plug though. The
Yeah,
Tunog
because
Calye plug was nice.
local
It was well
Kalye.
produced.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, local
Yeah. It's
vocals. Yeah, like local vocals. Like, oh, come on, man. Tunog Kalye is better.
yeah. Tunog Calye was not. Yeah. I like
Yeah,
Tunog
we
Calye
couldn't do that. We
actually.
couldn't do that. I don't think we could help ourselves, right? Yeah, we'd be like, yeah, we'd be itching to like 89.1. Iceman on air.
I mean, because for me, it's like it has a different effect, right? It has a different effect if you blow away a girl's expectations. Like she likes you already, just like for who you are, and then she finds out there's another layer to you. Like it never happens. I think it's a Pinoy thing. Like mostly with like white people or
Ay,
foreign
ay, ikaw
foreign
pala
guys,
yung
right? They don't
manyak na
really.
DJ, buwisit.
Well, for us, it's like, I mean, as much as possible, we want to jump the gun, like we want to beat the other guys, like we want to sell everything already to them, and show them our stuff before the other guys beat us to it, because we feel like if we play the humble game, and this could be another episode. We'll talk about this stuff like strategies, like strategies. Style mo bulok, style mo bulok. That's a good title for an episode. Style mo
SMB.
bulok,
Smile, smile style mo bulok.
style mo
SMB.
bulok. Moves that we thought worked that maybe didn't. I mean, anyway, like I don't know. We'll have that as a topic, but right now we're talking about old school
Alright, okay.
crushes.
All right. Celebrity crushes. All right. Okay. 90s, Alicia Silverstone. Then we had Vanessa Hudgens. No, 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 no. Vanessa Hudgens like in the 2000s. Who were like in the
Vanessa
80s,
Del
the
Bianco.
90s. All right. Okay. In the Philippines, yeah. So Vanessa Del Bianco.
Okay,
But
you know,
Alicia Silverstone
use
in
an
the
acquired,
90s, right?
use an acquired taste. I would be surprised if somebody said they had the hots for Cynthia Luster.
No,
I mean,
man. Come
I
on.
mean, she's not bad looking. She's not bad
But
looking. Cynthia Luster, like,
she's
she's
not.
not really
But
bad
dude,
looking.
what? Are you masochistic? You want to get beat up?
She talks too fast.
You, you want to get you want to get kicked in the nuts? No, man.
Didn't she do a movie with Vic Soto once? Like, I think she did a movie with
I
Vic
think she
Soto,
did.
man.
I think she did. She did a movie in the Philippines with one of our
She was like
comedians. It could
moving
be Vic
fast.
Soto.
She's like, oh, what are you
Oh
doing?
my
What's he doing
god,
here?
Cynthia
She's
Luster.
like, she's always like a member of the Hong Kong police or something.
Celebrity crush dot Jinky Vidal.
Yeah, because
Jinky
you know
Vidal?
who you know who he dated? Jinky's youngest sister.
Oh,
That's his
really?
ex-girlfriend. Get Cat. Well, I'm not gonna mention her name, but she might be married already. I don't know. I haven't heard from her in a
Who
while.
was
But
like? Well, I know
uh,
she has a sister who
Jepway, I
was
didn't know you had a
a
crush on Jinky. Jepway, you never told me. We always would hang out where they
Jinky
would.
had a sister, right? Who works at McDonald's. She was like one of the
She
store
had three
managers of
sisters. Yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah. The ate, the one at
Was that
McDonald's was
the
the
ate was
ate.
like okay, okay, that was the ate, right?
Yeah, I think that was Kaka. I think her name was Kaka, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And then she had a younger the youngest was the girl, and that was like Jepway's ex. So
Claire
anyway,
Danes. She was in the 90s. She was big in the 90s. Claire Danes, Romeo and Juliet.
Claire Danes. That's right, Claire Danes. Reese Witherspoon, was she 90s?
Reese
She was
Witherspoon.
hot
Yes,
in
Reese Witherspoon.
she was hot in Fear.
Uh-huh.
She was hot in
Fear.
Fear, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she was
Mark
hot in
Wahlberg.
Fear. She was like,
Dude, she
oh
got
man, I
fingered
hate
in
it. Like, I
she
was
got
like,
fingered in the roller coaster.
I know. Can you imagine how the dad felt? Like, that's why I don't want to have a daughter, because the daughter was like going against the dad already, because
Dude, you know what?
Mark Wahlberg's
Here's
he
the
was so
thing. Here's the thing.
manipulative. He hit himself and told her that the dad hit him. Remember? Like he
Yeah,
punched himself. Like
yeah.
he punched
Yeah.
himself in the chest, and then he
He
said
was
that
a
the dad.
psycho there. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think Reese Witherspoon there in that movie. I think he was a minor, so that's a different story, right? I think she was still a minor. I
Yeah,
think
she
she was
was a
still in
minor.
high
Yes,
school,
she was like
right? She
15.
was a
Yeah, she
minor
was
in
young.
that
She was
movie,
young.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that could be a headache, right? So that's the thing.
And you know what? Alisa Milano was in that movie.
Yes, she
Alisa Milano
was.
was the
She
friend.
was the one who
Remember?
was like, yeah, she was the friend
The
who
bad
had the hots
influence.
for Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Alisa Milano, she was also a
Yeah,
crush
she was
back in the day.
also yeah, right. I think well, not, well
She
the
was.
three of them because they had this uh TV
Charmed.
series,
Charmed.
Charm, right?
Oh,
So it was Elisa
Beverly Hills
Milano,
90210.
Beverly
Beverly
Hills
Hills
cast,
90210.
right?
Yeah. What about the Beverly Hills cast?
Kelly,
Yeah.
what's her name?
Yeah.
Kelly,
Uh,
Jenny Garth. Man, I had the
Jenny
hots for
Garth.
her. Jenny
And
Garth's
Brenda was.
hot.
Yeah, I like Jenny Garth more than what's her name? Brenda. What's her name? Brenda. Shannon Doherty. Shannon Doherty.
Shannon Doherty, right?
Shannon Doherty. Yeah. And
Yeah, I
and
was a
and
Jenny Garth.
and when I was in high school, I wanted sideburns. So I was like, I was
Luke
reading. I was
Perry,
like
Luke
trying
Perry,
to Luke Perry, Jason Priestley.
and
Both
Jason
guys had
Priestley.
sideburns. So I was like,
Yeah,
trying to like. I was always shaving my
right.
sideburns,
I
waiting for it to grow back.
sideburns, not for me. I got sunburns though, but no. Sideburns. Yeah.
I know, but this was
Yeah.
like in the States, it was like a big thing. That's why I had my earring because Brian Austin Green like had one earring, like the hoop thing. And when I turned 18, I was able to get my earring. And we all tried to do that. It's so funny because when you're during our era, I know the kids now don't do the same thing, but during our era, it's like if we see a guy and he's like a celebrity and he's known to be like a chick magnet or something, we always try to emulate what the guy's doing, thinking that it will have the same effect on us. And what we fail
Hmm.
to see is that we're not that guy. Like Richard Gomez. Like when Richard
Right.
Gomez like did his like skinhead. Remember he did a bench commercial? Like he was
All right.
growing and then he shaved his like he had like a skinhead. Like me, like my friends, we all had like that shave, like the Richard Gomez like skinhead, because Richard Gomez was always growing his hair out. And when he shaved it for that bench commercial, it's like a lot of my friends did the skinhead. And when the undercut was Uso, and I'm trying to recall who the celebrities were that had the undercut.
The
I think
Guapings.
the Guapings, the Palibasa Lalaki guys, right? I know
Right.
John Estrada
John
had
Strada.
that hair. Yeah,
Right. Joey
John
Marquez.
Estrada had that. Joey Marquez. Joey Marquez had the uppercut. He had the uppercut. Joey Marquez had the uppercut. I was going like this. Like down, 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 down. Yeah, so
That's why I like that sitcom because it was like that was like unique.
I
In
know.
its
It's like
time, it
a
was
lot of it were ad libs. They were not necessarily following the
yes,
script. Like
yes.
they would say things to incriminate the other guy. Like, oh, ikaw nga.
Mm.
Like, they would start talking about like the night before or like things that happened outside of the show. And they would just like continue with it. Like there was no cut. They would continue with it. Okay, so I know during the early 90's, you know, I had a huge crush on what's her name? Uh the God, was that the Belen girl? Short
Jelly.
hair? Jelly. I had a crush on because she had that group, right? It was her, it was uh Camina Villaruel. I know what's her name? Um who's the American chick? Danita Rose, Aiko Melendez, those
Mhm.
ladies. Among that group, I had a crush on Jelly for a while. When I first arrived here from the US, it was Jelly that I had a crush on. I remember seeing her, like her I don't know if it was a poster or like a billboard sign or whatever, but we were at Mega Mall. And before I came back to Davao, we were at Mega Mall. I was like, who's this chick? Who's this like, you know? And then I was told that she's the sister of Janice de Belen. And I remember Janice de Belen from Flor de Luna because my eldest sister, when we were growing up, she was a fan of that show. So I'm like, oh, so wow. So Janice de Belen actually has a sister. I had a crush on her for a while. And then I had a crush on Vina Morales for a while. And that's why I told you about that story with Jepoy, and we were at what's it called, Magsaysay Park, waiting for Vina Morales to show up. And we ended up watching Renz Verano.
Remember
And Jepoy,
me,
we were anyway. Whatever happened to that guy, right? Renz Verano. So yeah, we're talking
dude.
about
Melrose
okay,
Place.
yeah,
Ladies
Melrose
there
Place. That was big.
were hot.
The, Elizabeth Shue's brother was there. Remember?
Which one?
Elizabeth Shue's younger brother. The curly haired guy, the guy whose hair's like kind of like Kenny G's. Well,
All
maybe it
right,
wasn't
all right,
that
all right.
curly, but that like athletic looking guy. Forgot his name. That's the younger brother of Elizabeth Shue.
Marsha Cross was hot.
Yeah. Was she the main? Was
Kelly
she the blonde one with
Rutherford.
the short hair?
No, I think she was the red hair. She was sort of
Oh,
the
like
well,
the kind of psychotic one.
I
I think she
think
was kind of
so.
the
Like she
crazy
was like
one.
a milf. I like
Because
look at
because the
her
thing with
at that
Melrose
time.
Place was it appealed to like an older audience. Like if you were watching
Yeah,
90210,
yeah.
then your big brother or big sister was like watching because Melrose Place was like they were living on their own already, right? Like it was like a compound. It
Right.
was like and they were it was kind of like Friends before Friends became Friends, but it was like darker. They were dealing with mature issues. They were dealing with like you know um anyways. So yeah, okay, hold on. What about old school shows? Like you know what I had the hots for? I don't know if you remember I don't know if you remember who was that chick in TJ Hooker, that female cop? I think she was also in in Buck Rogers in the 25th century. I'll Google her name, or I'll try to search for. I had a crush on that girl. She's a childhood crush. But Erin Gray. Erin Gray. You remember Erin Gray?
No,
Try to
who's
try to Google Erin Gray. You remember her face. I'm sure in one of some shows that you used to watch. Well, back when she was younger, she's old now, obviously. When she was young, she was pretty. Erin Gray. She was in. I think she was in T.J. Hooker. Where are you going? No, you stay here.
man? I've been googling
Just
some TV stars, and I can't believe that she changed. Like
who?
one of the actors from Melrose Place. What's her name? Jamie Lunar. She was like in the TV show Savannah too, and she was like really hot there. But now I look at her photos, she's like looks like she's a
Jamie
different woman.
Lunar.
Jamie Lunar.
Lunar.
Like
Okay. Oh
she was like
yeah.
really right, and she changed
Okay,
now.
hold
Like
on.
her
Yeah, yeah,
she's just
yeah. I
like
remember
changed.
her. Yes, I remember her.
She
She was the
transformed.
plumpy one, right?
Right. And she looked really hot when she was like what,
She was the young one,
in
right?
her
She
like
was like one of the young ones
20s,
in the group.
30s. But now
And there was a,
her
I think there was a cast member with like a scar on her face. Wasn't there like a
right.
cast member with like she looked? Is that the same show that I'm talking about?
I
There
don't
was like
know.
there was a cast member. There's one of the girls there like had like a scar on her face. Then Heather
I
Locklear
think
like
so.
joined the
Yeah.
group after a while. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
red
Yeah.
haired girl. It was the red haired girl. She kind
Right.
of like had this like thing on her face. Stop kicking the table.
Man,
Yeah,
she
it
has
was
grown
that
old. Jamie Lunar, she has grown old. She was like really hot in
yeah, I remember.
Savannah. She,
Yeah, I
she
remember her. Yeah,
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 she
I
looks like a
remember that
different woman
series
now.
Savannah. But you have to think, dude, like these shows that we remember vividly in our heads, man, they're like those shows were like what, 20 years ago? More than even?
30 years ago.
Oh my god.
Yes, 30 years ago. Yeah, yeah. We should be realistic,
Oh
right?
crap. Oh my
30
god.
years ago.
Okay.
Holy
We gotta have an episode about midlife crisis sometime. We gotta invite the older folks. No, no, we really do. We're not saying like people should have midlife crisis, but just has it dawned upon you that you're like on the downhill already? You know, it's just gonna go down from here. Like once you hit 50, because we thought 40 was like old already, and now people are extending it and saying 40 is the new 30. So what, 50 is the new 40 now? And then we keep denying it. I
right.
mean,
True.
you
It's
know,
true.
you know what I'm saying? It's like how many people live up to 80, right? So you have to think about that. Or like I'm way past halfway through. And it's not like if you live up to 70 or 60, like you're still strong and still able to do stuff. No, 60 and 70, this like, dude, you're hanging by a thread already. I mean, assuming you keep yourself super healthy. Or, it's man, I
It's
don't
true.
know.
I'm
So
having
okay,
knee
so
problems right
so
now.
I know my wife is having knee problems. She's 10 years younger. I have a question for you. Before like we do that show, before we have that episode. What's your take on it? Like if you're on the downward spiral, like we are way past the halfway mark of our lives, should you like go for it and like live more and go crazy, or should you like chill and kick back? Is it the time to
All
like go for the last
depends.
hurrah, or is it the time to like, okay, I'll relax now, or should you like go for it until until you become 60, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna chill now because I'm 60? Because like with 50 you can still do a lot. Like 50 to 55, That's still a good 5 year run. I
Okay,
mean,
hang
if
on.
you want to like
What are we talking
travel, go
about here?
crazy,
What are we talking
like
about
just
here? Like
crazy
what?
stuff.
Like all right, okay, like
Like,
all right,
like,
because I thought
I
you were
mean,
talking about work. I mean, yeah, I'm planning to work until 70. So I mean,
no, no, no,
okay, go crazy.
no work.
All right. I mean, dude,
Yeah,
how crazy
I
can you
mean,
get when you're 50? I mean, tell
okay,
me.
well,
Give
okay.
me an example. How crazy can you get if you're okay? Let's say you're 50 or 60.
I mean, crazy. Like
How crazy can you get?
indulge
Like what?
in your, like, for example, like you like to travel or you want to go to like an extreme place, then you do it during that time span. If you're single, then you try to date as many girls as you can. That kind of crazy. Rather than like, okay, just chill and relax and sip wine and like, I've done this, done that. Like your last hurrah. Like if there's anything that's left undone, like for example, you've always wanted to join a rock band, then you form a rock band with your friends, or if you've always wanted to learn to drive a sports car or learn something extreme or climb Mount Apple. I don't know what it is, but
I think
if you're that type of
that's kind of like
person,
silly for me. That's kind of silly for
it's
me. I
so
mean,
you're so like at that so you're done. Like you're basically saying like from
no,
this
I'm not
moment
really
on.
done, but it's like, okay, I want to do things, but I don't think my body would allow it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would still want to
Yeah,
ball like a baller, but I don't think I can
yeah.
ball like how 20
I
year
know that's
old,
what I'm saying.
you
It's like
know,
you're in your last hurrah. It's like if you don't do it within that time period, it's gonna be tougher to do. Like traveling on your own. Like, we can still manage to do that at this point in our lives. I mean, but
traveling.
like only up
Traveling
to a
is,
certain
yeah.
extent.
See, I want to travel, but it's not just my body, but it's also my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to travel. If somebody would give me money to travel, I would travel. Like, yeah, screw that. I'll
So
travel.
so
But,
so if
well,
like if you had like the funds or the capacity to do these
if
things,
I have the
you
money,
do it.
yeah, I
You
would.
do the last
Yeah, I
hurrah. You
will.
do the last
I
hurrah.
will. I would travel. I would see the world. I would, I would meet more people. I would try to get
Because you
exposed
don't want
to
to be
more
like
cultures.
70 years old and looking back and saying, "Oh crap, I kept holding on from doing this or doing that, and now I can't do
But you
it."
can
Like
never really tell.
maybe,
You can never really tell. Like, okay, who would ever thought that my mom could travel the world, right? I mean, when we were growing up, I had a
yeah. How
tough
old is your
childhood, man.
mom
I
when
mean,
she
in
went to
terms,
the
my
UK?
mom,
I mean,
she was in her 60s. She started traveling when she was in her 60s, right?
okay,
So I
okay,
think the first time she
and she
came
was
to
still
the
enjoy. She
Philippines was
enjoyed
like
it.
what,
She was,
61
she
or
was
60? She's still enjoying it. She could still like,
okay.
well, yeah, she could still um travel with us to Tokyo. She never said no to the places that we went to. I mean, my sister wanted to see
Yeah,
places and
that's a good
stuff. It
point.
was really cold too because when she first came here, it was a winter. It was winter time. It was in December. Actually January. So when we went to Tokyo, it's already in January. It was like freezing cold, and we went to Shibuya, and my sister wanted to take a photo of the like of that dog Hachiko, and my mom was there with us, but she was just, "All right, I'm just gonna go back inside the train station because it was really cold." And
Yeah,
she couldn't wait like for that long, but yeah, but then she managed. We were like walking all over the place, like like we because you can't take the taxi the whole time. You're gonna run out of money, you're gonna run out of funds. So
yeah.
yeah, she managed to, like, even in Japan, she was able to visit Tokyo, she was able to visit Osaka and
Yeah,
Kyoto.
can you get the
She
remote
was
of
able
the
to
there.
go to Shirakawa-go as well. Like, she did a lot of walking and stuff. Then she went
It's
to the
there in the box on
UK, and
top
they
of
did a
the
lot of
stove.
walking there. They went to Scotland. Then
The box of Mama's stove
they went to the US.
on top.
Um, dude, she's seen the White House, right?
Dude, I
That's
saw
my dream to
pictures.
see
She
the
went
White
to the
House.
freaking Stonehenge. What are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, so that's what
It's
I'm
like,
saying. Like, who would have
Stonehenge. How
thought?
the heck did Tita
Who
make it
would
to
have thought?
Stonehenge?
Like, who
How
would have
did
thought
Katya
that my
get to
mom would be able
Stonehenge?
to see the world? We like, we
No,
would
yeah.
never know. We would
Give it
never
to
know.
me. Yeah.
We had a
But
tough
see,
we,
that's the
we had a
thing.
tough life. My mom had a tough life. She had 4 kids, right? And there were times that we she couldn't, or both my parents couldn't pay for tuition on time, right? And we went through a lot of like really hard stuff in life. And when she went to Kyoto and she saw that golden, like golden pagoda, she was just like, she told my wife like, "Ah, I never thought I would see this in my life." That's what she said,
Yeah.
my lifetime. Like, I've only seen this
But she would have been
pictures in
fine,
my
right? she would have been
Yeah, she
fine
would
if
have
she
been
like
fine.
if she didn't.
But
I
she was
mean, it
like, "Oh,
wasn't something like
now
she would like hate her
no,
life
no, no,
if she
no.
didn't
She never
experience that.
thought
So
that
it's
she
a
would be able to
bonus.
do it.
It was
Yeah,
like a
it's a bonus
bonus,
for
right?
her. She was like, "Oh, I only saw this in calendars, and now it's right in front of me." And now I think about it, like she's been to Thailand, she's been to Singapore, she's been to a lot of places. Like I've only been to
Yeah,
Singapore, Philippines, and Japan. Only three countries, right? I've never been to like
yeah.
America. I wanted to see America. I wanted to see the U.S., but I haven't been there yet. I wanted to visit my brother in
Yeah.
Canada. I haven't been there yet, but
You'll
I mean,
get
I
you
know
get
who
there when you're
knows.
60.
Maybe,
You'll get there when
yeah,
you're
probably.
61
Yeah,
with your mom. No,
if I
see,
could
see,
make
that's
it
what I'm
there
saying.
when
It's
I'm
like
already
the
old, it's
natural
fine with
order of
me. I'm
things.
I'm okay with it.
That's a natural order of things. That's why, like, and when I look back and look at the travel pictures of my lolo and my lola, it's like, yeah, they were like in their 60s, when they traveled. And I think that's because that's when you're able to afford to travel because you work your butt off and then you get to a
Right.
point where, okay, you have extra money, you already have the house paid off, you've sent the kids to school, now we can travel. So that's like the natural order of things. I get it. But I'm pretty sure if your mom or my lola and lola or whoever loved ones may be who got to travel at an older stage in their lives were able to do it at a younger age, they probably would have chosen to do so. It's just that they couldn't. So what I'm trying to say is like it's not necessarily just travel. Like travel,
It's
you,
hard.
you can stretch
It's
that
hard to
out. You can
travel
be
with small
older and
kids,
still
man.
travel.
Like, okay, even
It,
if you
it
had the
is. It
money,
is.
it's still really hard to travel
It
with
is. I
kids.
agree.
But
Even
if
just
your
going
kids
to
are
the
older,
mall.
it's easier. Yes,
Even
just
just the
taking them to the
mall,
mall.
dude.
It's torture. It's already too much work, right?
It is. It
I mean,
is.
no,
It
Raj
is.
is what, 9, 10? How old is Raj?
He's
9,
10.
10?
He's 10.
Right? He's 10.
Yeah.
Like even then, even if he's 10, like you take him to the mall, it's still, there's still some work to do
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah. But
But when they're
it's
like
it's
in
crazy
their
now because he's the little
teens,
one.
right? I mean, teens they can still be a problem, but when they're in their, like when they're adults already, like when they're like at
Yeah.
least early 20s, it would be easier because you could just like, you're both adults, all right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's not a hassle anymore. You don't have to worry
But it's
a
like
lot.
like not necessarily like travel because I mean, like I said, like travel, okay, that can be applied to like even at a later stage in your life and you can still travel. But even like when you're in your 70s, my mom still went to Hong Kong with us. She's already in her 70s and she could barely walk, but she was still able to do it. Now here's the thing. Now I'm talking about like other like activities that might be on your I don't want to call it bucket list because like when you say bucket list, it's like you only do it because you're about to die or something. I'm talking about things that you wanted to do, not necessarily because your time is limited, but because if you could do it, you would do it. Like if you were Bill Gates and you had his money, or if you were Elon Musk, you had his money. These are the things that you would do. Now, obviously, the super rich would probably want to go to space. They want to travel in orbit and see the world, and from up in space. Or some would probably want to invent something, some crazy idea like that. We're obviously not at that level, but I'm talking about certain activities. Like for example, for example, let's say you've had the frustration of performing in a rock band on stage in front of people. Like if you're 70, that's not going to be, it's not something that you're going to get excited about. It's going to be kind of pathetic looking already. Or if you decide to buy a sports car, you know, and you do that at your, like when you're 70 or 80, you could still do that, but you're not going to enjoy it as much. It's more for like just
No,
to be
I,
able
I
to
think
do it.
at that point in my life, I would want to see my kids successful. I think that's just my only,
Same here. Same here.
that's that
At that
that
age,
that's
I'm
my
not.
only
See,
concern
that's why
at
you
that
should
age.
do it at that window where it's like that sweet spot where you're still cool. You still look cool doing it, and you still feel like you're not forcing it.
Right.
Assuming, of course, like I said, you have the capacity or the resources to do it. If you don't, obviously,
Right.
it's automatic.
Same
You're
with
not going to be able to
same
do it.
same
But just
same with
assuming,
like this is what I always tell my wife because yeah, I mean, I my situation. So it's more of like I've always told her like when it's time to retire, I'm gonna retire. If it's time, you would know that if it's already time. Like what you said, you don't want to force it. You'd still want to believe that people see you as at least still cool, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you can still be able to do things, and you can still be able to
Still have the
last,
energy.
like at that normal pace and that normal like um that supposedly that time that you should last in whatever that thing is that you're doing, like be it in sports, be it in whatever, like all these other activities that you want to get involved in. So it's sort of like your endurance should
Yeah.
be there. And as long as I
Yeah.
still have that, and as long as people still see me as not cringy, and I'm still okay, they still think I'm cool, and then I'm down for it. But when the time comes that I'm like, oh, I'm too old for this shit, I'm like, oh, I mean, like you have to move on, doing other stuff, like
Yeah.
worthwhile stuff, right? And I
Yeah.
think at that particular point, it's probably like your drive would probably go down too. Like for example, now I'm doing a lot of basketball
Yeah.
because I mean this is my only time. Like I'm 43. I know I'm playing with guys who are like
Yeah.
50 plus, like 53, 54, and they're still okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still want to play at the level where I could still jump a lot. But see, because I jump a lot and I've been doing a lot of athletic moves compared to the other guys who are like playing in my group. That's why probably I'm having this knee issues right now, and I'm like, oh crap,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I have to take some time off from playing, but see, the stubborn guy in me is like, no, you got to play, you got to play. I'm like, I got to take some rest. I got to give it at least a week not playing. Then
Yeah.
I mean, for me, if I
Yeah.
don't play like a week, like that's like 3 games, 3 days that I play in a week, and if I don't play in like in those 3 days, it feels like it's been months. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's just you want to
And
do all
and
these things.
usually it's that's when they come out. Like that's when they show up. Like that's when you start to feel rusty when you take that long break. It's like
Mhm.
crap. It's like especially for people like in your 40s, like which where we are now. It's like for example, if I go biking every day or I run every day and I continue that, it's like I'm good. I'm good. I don't. But if I stop for like a week, dude, my joints will start to feel, and then when I run again, it's like I'm starting from scratch almost. It's like because you start to get immune to certain pains and aches and whatever when it's a continuous activity because you don't need your body doesn't even have time to recognize the pain because you're doing it again and you're doing it again. But if you take a break, that's when your muscles start to heal and that's when you're starting to rebuild things, and then your muscles starting to adjust again because the muscles that you built up that to accommodate your activity will start to turn back into fat or whatever, and then you have to regain those muscles again. And I think that's why a lot of guys who go to the gym and then they stop, they get fat. Like they get like big. You can tell they went to the gym, but they get like big, like bouncer
I
type of
know.
bodies
I
because
know.
because they put the muscle in, but then they lose the activity. So the muscle's still there, but then the fat comes in too. So what I'm saying is, I guess that you're doing the right thing actually because the level that you're playing basketball, even though you're playing with 50-year-old guys, you guys are still playing full court. You guys are still playing full basketball
Yeah,
games.
no,
So
well, okay. I'm playing
up
with
to
with
how?
guys who are like in their 50s, but here's the thing: half of the guys there are in their 20s and 30s. So I
Okay,
want to
well there
keep
you
up with the
go.
guys who are like in their 30s and 20s. So I am much better than these guys who are like in their 50s. But dude, keeping up with those
There are
guys who are
guys
in
who are
their
in their 20s.
early 20s, dude,
Yeah,
I'm wondering like, oh man, their knees. Like every
those
time they
guys are
do those,
rabbits.
like now I can't even
Yeah.
like do those fancy dribbling anymore or
No.
those fancy dribbles
No.
anymore because
No.
I'm afraid to like twist a nerve or something. And I
Yes.
and every time and I
Yes.
should I should really quit watching young Kobe because every time I have a game, like it's a game day. So before before going to the game, I would like spend time watching videos, like highlights and stuff. And I would like type young Kobe. I shouldn't be watching
Mhm.
young Kobe because young Kobe's
Yeah.
like what,
Yeah. Yeah.
18?
Yeah.
Dude, the moves that
Yeah.
like he was doing at that time. Like, his
Yeah.
jump
Yeah.
shots, his like his
You
athleticism.
should be
And
watching
I'm like,
old Hakeem.
I
Hakeem.
know the game, right?
Tim
So dude,
Duncan.
I have
You should
this
watch Tim
I
Duncan.
right? I have these issues now. I have my IT band issues, like like a lateral side of your knee. Then like I had a calf cramps last night. So man, it's like maybe I shouldn't play tomorrow and Saturday. But then I'm looking at this shoe on Nike.com, like the KD 14. It's one of the best shoes in 2021. I'm like, should I
You gotta
buy
go
this?
get
Should
it.
I not? Should I buy this? Should I not? And like I already have too much shoes. Holy shit! Should I get it? Should I not? And all of the people in the game last night were talking about like what's in their cart. People are talking like, "Oh, I have LeBron 19 in my cart now," and The other guy's like the New Balance, the new Kawhi, whatever, and the other guy has like the what's that, like LeBron 8 Space
Well,
Jam
go
edition.
for it, dude. When
I'm like,
okay, when are you gonna buy that? When are you gonna? We're gonna buy those sneakers
I'm
when you're not
thinking
playing
that, but
anymore. Buy it
that's what I'm
now. Get it
saying.
over with,
But
dude. It's not like
you're
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 buying,
blaming.
dude. It's
Yeah,
for health
I know,
reasons.
and it's
No,
actually thirty
because
percent
like,
off right now
dude,
because it's
dude, I
Cyber
told you the
Week.
other. And you play. You play. It's like you play like Jong. If he spends a lot of money on a guitar because he plays it, like you play. Like
That's
as
true,
long as you use
right?
it and you're not buying it, just to get it. Because I mean, once you're 60 and you look back, now see. Here's the thing. Here's what I noticed with some people, and some of them are like my friends. Like they they start to go crazy with stuff now because they can afford it. They're in a better situation in their lives financially, so they can buy stuff, they can do stuff, and they do it. um and I can't really fully relate because the activities that they do are not the things that I'm really into, but I'm glad that I'm not into it because like at my age I can't afford to take the risk. Because like even just playing basketball, if you twist your knee at this stage, dude, it ain't healing anymore. Unlike when we were 18 or 20, you play basketball, nalisa or whatever, dude, like give it a couple of days, put ice on it, you're playing again. At
Yeah,
this
yeah,
age,
true.
dude, it's not gonna heal anymore. So that's why when you play basketball, just be careful that you don't hurt yourself. I mean, if you're just like if it's just fatigue, that's fine. But if you like if you rip a muscle or whatever or a tendon or your ligament or whatever, dude, it's gonna take its toll on you when you're in your 60s. You're gonna feel that because my twisted knee that I went through when I was in high school playing baseball, dude, it's like I think it's arthritis. Like if it gets cold, it starts to I can feel it throb and it hurts. And it's the one that kind of interferes with my running and my other activities because it's my knee. That's where you bend it. And because of that injury that I never thought I would still be suffering from at this stage in my life, like 30 years later, apparently still there. So I think that's just what you have to be careful with. Like you don't fall the wrong way or you don't hit your head again like you did, because these things, you'll
I'm
feel that
telling you.
later on. So play smart. I mean, you're not getting paid for it anyways, right? As long as you get the
Yeah,
exercise, as long as you get your activity in, just play smart. I think that's the thing with us. That's why I can't, like, I have friends that invite me, to ride the bicycle with them out of town. I have friends that, invite me to like try to learn how to ride a motorcycle. I have friends, and I'm not like saying that of course it's gonna be fun. Of course it's something new to learn, but I'm always in fear of like, what if I fall and I hurt my shoulder? Then that's gonna limit my movement. And I think about those things at this age, because I paid for my twisted knee, and I'm still paying. I still feel that up to now. Imagine if I fall the wrong way on a bicycle, or if I, you know,
right.
and I have kids, like I have.
It's
These are
true.
the people that I want to be able to do things with. Um, I mean, dude, I remember playing the guitar, and I had like a gout issue in my wrist, like. Dude, I thought I was gonna die, man. Like I would just look at my wrist and I felt the pain. I mean, this
That's true.
dude, you can't do, right? That's why I brought that up. That's why I was like, is there still anything that we want to do that pwede nating isingit at that little window that we have, which is like for me maybe the 50 to 55 age. So that 55 onwards, if if I can't do these things anymore, I'm not gonna look back and
Hmm.
say, damn it, I should have done that.
Yeah, I should
Are
have.
there still
Yeah, should have.
things that you're young, you're way younger than I am, so your clock is bigger, but you're also still
Did you
working
say
your butt off.
clock
And
or you said clock, right?
have you seen the movie, what's the movie you knock with what's his name, Justin Timberlake, In Time? Was it In Time, where their money was like time?
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All
you,
right.
you remember
No,
that
because
movie?
I was like, yeah,
So
yeah. I was like, oh, did you
you,
say clock or?
yeah, clock.
All right.
Your calendar clock. What? Okay,
All right.
not
Okay.
body clock. You're not a
No.
woman.
I know you're like, oh
Clock.
yeah,
I didn't say cock. I said cock. I know what you're trying to say here.
I was like, what?
Because they went like this. Because they went like this. Because they went like this. Well, I don't know. We never compared, you know. But either way, it's like your clock is longer. It's the same thing. I say longer or bigger.
I was like,
You have more
we're
time. There
talking
it
about, like,
is.
are we talking
You
about
have
girls
more
now?
time.
Like, okay, we're talking
Because,
about basketball. Still
because
basketball. All right.
how old are you? You're 43, right? How old are you?
All right, yeah. 43.
You're 43, dude. You're I'm like I
Dude,
have a
in 5 weeks' time, the year's gonna be over. I'm running 44 now. Holy shit.
dude. I'm gonna be 50 in like a couple of years, man. Like,
Man. All right, let's stop talking about age. We are not at that point yet.
and I
We
still
could
have
still
a
get away
1 year
with,
old.
like if we shave off like 10 years from our age, we'd still get away with it. So we're good.
And it's funny because I lie down in bed and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, how can I be a better dad? How can I be a better person? And I'm thinking, crap, I'm gonna be 50. It's too late. If there were any changes I was gonna make, I should have done that like 2 decades ago.
Yeah,
It's like it's
two
too
decades,
late.
20 years ago.
There's no way you can
True.
change anything anymore. Like at this age, you can't change it anymore. Like that, it's so embedded and imprinted already that this is how I am. Now I can only probably be conscious about the stupid things that I do and like, okay, don't do it. But it's too late to like take on a whole new
Right.
lifestyle, so to
Right.
speak,
It's true.
right? I think
That's
it
true.
is. I
Yeah.
think it is. Like I can fake it. Like I can watch a Facebook. I can look at a Facebook post and be inspired for a week. Like
Mhm.
okay, these are the tricks to be. Because I always see that. Like okay, how to be successful, how to get the drive in your life, blah blah blah. So I read it, and maybe for a week it'll work. Then after a while, we always go back to like our old habits because it's just proof that we're not all the same. Because if there's a blueprint for success or if there's a blueprint for living a life, dude, we'd all be the same people. We'd all be doing the same freaking thing. But we're not, and it's we're not. I mean, even if we all try to apply it, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't. And I know it's all about attitude, but at the end of the day, man, it's like people say, "Oh, you don't have discipline," but yeah, maybe my discipline is in like learning how to draw and learning how to play the guitar, and maybe another guy's discipline is in running or riding the bike to like Timbuktu, and I can
Mhm.
barely ride my bike to like outside the village. But he probably won't have the patience to learn how to draw to the point where my skills are now, or to play the guitar and learn a song. So you can't really say that this other person has better discipline than the other because it's unfair to compare because maybe his stamina is that way and my stamina is this way and maybe there's a quiet nerdy guy but in sex he's a god, or maybe there's a dude who sucks in sex but in sports he's a god. So we really don't
It's
know.
true.
And I think we have to realize that where you can't let someone else's success determine how you look at your failures. Like someone
Mhm.
else's success cannot be a reflection of your failure and vice versa because he might be better in his career but you might be a better whatever friend or whatever. So I don't know, but we'll talk about that. I mean, obviously we strayed off topic already. We
Right.
digress.
All right. Yeah. What's new? All right. Okay. We'll see you guys on Saturday. I don't know. I have to decide whether
Yeah,
if
Jeff was watching
I'll
TBT now for sure.
for sure, for
We
sure.
lost him.
All
He's
right.
a goner. We lost him,
All right.
man. Now
Yeah.
I know
Not
he's
his
watching
fault. Not
Angie.
his fault.
It's
Angie
Angie.
and Katie.
Yeah,
Angie and Katie. All right.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
Got it.
So yes, Gabby, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you again on Saturday. All right. We're doing live for now. All right. Okay. So yeah, we'll think of
Okay,
I
what
don't
are we
know.
doing for Saturday? Let's have something like can we let's have something for Saturday that we'll stick to. Okay,
Mhm.
is there
All
anything
right.
we do like a challenge maybe? Like maybe we'll eat something or let's have something just to, because it's Saturday, right? Let's make it
Right.
like an
Okay.
event kind of an episode.
Mhm.
Um yeah. Anyways, we're probably gonna forget by the time we do the show. We're like, what the heck was that? But let's have a guest. Maybe let's have Gab in because I had a talk with Gab the other day when he dropped by to give me the cap, and he was telling me about the heartache that he went through.
All right. Okay. Let's.
And
Gab, are
and
you good for Saturday?
yeah, because we
All
want
right.
Gab to be like the third guy, like
All right.
he'll tell
Okay.
us about his questions.
All right.
Gab, join us
All right.
Saturday. You good? Can you join us live on the show so we can talk about like women and you know
Right.
the
You're
evil
hardy.
things that
Let's
they
talk
do
about your hardy.
sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Ice is a
Right.
pretty strong dude emotionally. I'm pretty strong emotionally. I
All
know,
right. We'll
Gab, you're a
see.
stronger guy now.
We'll see. How it goes. With what you're going through right now. We'll see if. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
We're good. We're
All
good.
right. Cool, cool,
All
cool.
right. Let us know. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll see you on Saturday. This has been the OK Show Thursday edition TBT. We couldn't stick to a topic. Anyway. All right. Good night. This has been Ice Man.
You got Rod Rodriguez.
Yeah, and we are out. Good night, folks.